Would this make it better? It helps if I turn on my mic. That might help. Hold on. Do 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 do. It helps when you turn on the mic. Turns out, Nina, it's helpful. You plug that thing in. Yeah, you plug it in and it works. Yeah, but not to the little wire stream thing, wirecast thing. Yeah. So, I really hate to break up this excellent discussion about who would win going a mile on a grass, Sydney, See You Monday, or Awake as I Am. But alas, we have 14 new champions. Oh, sorry, I forgot Happy Snowman. 14 new champions to crown today. It's 14, right? 15. Why is it 15? Because there's a Texas non-winners at 3 at the end of the card. Not the same. 14 new champions to conquer. To conquer? To crown today. Who will be doing a lot of conquering. And we're going to start up with the 5 furlong turf sprint. And don't forget, guys, none of these calls have been rehearsed in any way, shape, or form. They are not pre-written. I am pulling up a chart and reading off of it. So it went pretty well last night. I only missed one move, so I thought that was pretty good. And yeah, we're going to have Nina as our MC tonight. Poor Nina having a little bit of trouble today because she's got Undefeated Titanic and Super Older Horse Coleman Hell both in. And don't forget Old Man, I'm getting there. Don't forget Old Man D.I. Hardy trying to close out his career on a winning note. So without further ado, to talk for the next 3 hours, here is Nina.
All right, let's talk to me while I'm still alive. So, the first race, Steward's Cup Turf Sprint. The first horse in the field is Chris Everett's homebred, Reach for Class, a 6-year-old son of Reach for the Moon, and out of the Keep Me in the Dark mare, Lady in the Dark. Has earned $539,000 on the track from 11 wins from 20 starts. Has campaigned in the U.S. this year with only 3 starts and 2 graded stakes wins, including his last start in the Grade 2 Speedy Gonzalez Stakes, where he posted a 90 speed figure. Post 2 belongs to last year's Stewards Cup Turf Sprint winner Meditation, a homebred for Rachel Sadler. This 4-year-old son of luxury is out of the side-by-side mare Star Trooper. Meditation has earned $2.9 million on the track from 18 starts, with 11 of those being wins. He has campaigned mostly in North America this year, with 1 start outside of the U.S., which was a second in the Desert Turf Sprint. Only has 1 win this year, though, which was week 11 in the Grade 2 Green Rocket Stakes. Post 3 is the Steward bred Gentle Touch, owned by Laura Smith. Laura paid $1.1 million for this 4-year-old son of Gentle Courage. He's out of the ambitiously mare Sock Invasion and comes into the race with 11 wins from 18 starts. His earnings are currently sitting at $3.2 million after winning the inaugural Pegasus Turf Sprint, as well as 2 other Grade 1 races this year. His last victory was in the Grade 1 Petitionville Stakes, Week 14. Next, we have the oldest horse in the field with Kenzie Larkin's Sound of the Storm, who she purchased from the Steward for $759,000. He is sired by Storm the Blockade and now the guitar mare Music in My Mind. This robust 9-year-old has made a total of 47 starts in his career with a whopping 25 wins and earnings of $2.7 million. He only has 1 win this year, though, and that came week 5 in the listed Flamingo Dash. He's coming in off of a 3rd-place finish in the Grade 3 Seiler Stakes. Post position 5 belongs to Laura Ferguson, Steward bred, another. He cost $1 million for Laura at the TBS yearling sale and is sired by Game Point Stallion Beat Black and out of the special week mare Buena Vista. He has earned $643,000 lifetime with 8 wins from 18 starts. Comes into this race off of a season that brought him 2 listed stakes wins, week 3 and week 12, though he earned a 90 speed figure both times. He comes over from Europe after a runner-up effort in the Grade 1 Pre-Longchamp. Next up is a homebred for Christophe Desjardins and Charles the Great, a 3-year-old son of recently pensioned Reach for the Moon, and out of the Damascus sword mare Ocean Ridge. So far has earned $258,000 in his short 11-race career and has won 4 races, including the Grade 1 Barbados Derby, Week 5, where he ran a 97. In post 7, we have Brian Doolittle, Steward bred, the band, a 4-year-old son of the dominant one who is out of the Soldier Field mare Selfies. Brian purchased this colt for $624,000 at the TBS 2-year-old sale, and he has so far earned back $1.4 million with 12 wins from 19 starts. This season, the band was a bit of a traveler with his campaign starting off in Hong Kong before he returned back to the States to win the Grade 1 Oceanside Dash Week 12. Post 8 is another Steward bred in One Who Defends. Owner Phil Hofflick spent $1.7 million to pick this son of Taste of Blade up at the TBS yearling sale. He's out of the Look Alive mare Loyal to the Last. So far, this 3-year-old has $918,000 in earnings with 6 wins from 13 starts. He was runner-up in last year's Turf Dash. His only 2 wins this season were earlier this year, Week 3 and Week 7. He comes in off of a 3rd-place effort in the Grade 1 Petitionville Stakes. In the outside post 9, we have Gigi Go Faster, Steward bred, Case Closed. Case Closed costs $1.7 million and is sired by the Black Glove, now the silent jig mare Whispered Music. So far, he has won 5 of 12 starts and earned $249,000 on the track. He has won his last 3 starts, including the Grade 3 Siler Stakes, where he posted an 81 speed figure. And it's really weird saying this, but that is all we have in this Stewards Cup Turf Sprint. Usually this field is huge, but only 9 horses decide to show up this year. It is crazy. And I will give it over to the steward for our first call of the night.
I'm really glad to be doing this now. I don't usually do this early. Don't forget to get your pick 4, pick 6, pick etceteras in, because I'm about to close those. But I just wanted to say that first of all, I think my food's finally here. I've been waiting for it for over an hour. They said it would be like 25 minutes, and so this is going to be really awkward. Really hoping it shows up. Yeah, there it is. Awkward muting about to happen, and then I'm going to give someone an award. So, yeah. The awkward time that the Thai food delivery guy is like, "Can I sign your cast?" And you're like, "No, you cannot. That's weird." Anyway, I wanted to give out the Simi Award of Merit because I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but if not, then you happen to know that I have no use of my right hand. It was in a brace most of the year, and then I finally had surgery on November 9th, and I will not have it out of it's in a cast now, but I won't even be out of a brace till February 1st. So, yeah. Everyone knows who it's going to be. When I realized that I like couldn't do the edge, I couldn't do race calls, I couldn't do anything, I was freaking out. And the person who stepped up to the plate, who does all of our contests, who literally helped me write the last 4 edges, who literally answers emails for me, she takes care of people's stables when they go away. She's totally become my right hand person. Ha ha! Pun not intended, but punny. So now I meant to intend it. It is Allie Hedgestone. You are our Simi Award of Merit earner. That means you're very special to the game, and no one can ever take it away. And it's now on your page, and you can look at it and see that you won an Award of Merit. So yeah. So yeah, post time for the first race of the day, the first of 14. Excuse me. A field of 9 going 5 on the grass. The betting pool is 3,700. Okay, guys, I know Jake Tward's not in here, or maybe he is, but I'm not calling these races unless they get to 25,000. I'm constantly trying to sell more betting and exactas and all this stuff. If you guys don't put money in the pools, then I can't sell it. So, bet the monies. We've got 4 millionaires in here. Will there be a new horse who becomes a millionaire? Or will someone just add to their total? Can it be the 9-year-old old man Sound of the Storm? That'd be pretty cool. Where'd the chart go? The chart is gone. Seriously, where'd I put the chart? I found it. They're off in the turf sprint. A perfect start for all 9 runners. They get away well, and Sound of the Storm is hustled out to the lead and will be chased by another. One who defends there too, then the band up close and case closed. Meditation and Charles the Great run side by side along with Reach for Class, and Gentle Touch is the early trailer as they go whipping around the turn. Sound of the Storm, he leads by 2 lengths. One who defends and another noses apart, and then Meditation is back 4th. Charles the Great is 5th, a length and a half to the band. Gentle Touch has gained 2 spots, then case closed, and Reach for Class needs to do more. They're into the stretch, and Sound of the Storm, the old man tries to kick away. One who defends up after him, and Meditation, then another, and Charles the Great. Sound of the Storm, and one who defends. Here comes Meditation on the inside. Sound of the Storm trying to hold on. One who defends, and Meditation. It's going to be the old man in the turf sprint. Sound of the Storm gets there, and he beats One who defends. Meditation was 3rd, and then Charles the Great. Oops, I lost him. He's gone. Okay. The official winner is Sound of the Storm. He's a 9-year-old gray horse by Storm the Blockade out of Music in My Mind by Guitar. He was bred by the Steward and is owned by Kenzie Larkin. This is his 26th win in 48 starts. This is Kenzie's second Thursday or Friday Stewards Cup win. She's got a whole bunch. All weather, mixers, 1 2-year-old thoroughbred. So, she's basically a jack of all trades. That was awesome. Okay, next up, we have the Filly and Mare Dirt Mile. A field of 13, and we have 7 minutes to discuss them. So, I'm going to go deal with the Thai food situation.
Congratulations, Kenzie. But, okay, so I have 7 minutes to talk about all these horses, so let's go. To start the field, we have Todd Lucas's front-running homebred, developmental, 5-year-old Father Ralph mare out of the Burning Beast daughter, Acts of Kindness. She comes into this race with 10 wins from 23 starts and earnings of $904,000. This season, she has won 3 times, including a victory in the Grade 2 American Baby Stakes, where she ran to a career best performance, earning a 90 speed figure. Post 2 belongs to the first filly in a set of twins entered by me in My Homebred Greatness. She is sired by Father Ralph and out of the Engross mare, A Mile to Glory. Greatness is a front runner who comes into this race with 8 wins from 16 starts and earnings of $659,000. Greatness spent her last 2 starts down in South America, where she won a Grade 2 and a Grade 3 with 89 speed figures. Pete Vela has pose position 3 with his homebred Intervention, a daughter of his own Brilliant Dream, and out of the Father's Day mare, Paulinitzi, has 10 wins from 16 starts with earnings of $931,000. Saw the winner circle quite a few times this season with only 1 third place finish, including a Grade 1 win in the Oceanside Ladies Mile. Post 4 belongs to Channy Russo's homebred Dubai Raider, who won the Dubai Stewards Cup debutante as a 2-year-old. She is sired by Touchdown Raiders and out of the Big Bucks mare, Dubai Millionaire. This 4-year-old filly comes into the race with $1 million in earnings and 9 wins from 14 starts. Saw the winner circle twice this season in 2 Grade 2 wins, with her latest being a Week 13 in the Grade 2 Palaces of the Sand Stakes. Post 5 is Scott Island's homebred Shadrach, a daughter of Stewards Cup winning mare Meshach and sired by King of Kindness. This 3-year-old filly comes into the race with 6 front-running wins from 10 starts and $472,000 in earnings. Has had a nice 3-year-old campaign after a third place in last year's debutante with 3 victories, including the Grade 3 Iowan Meadows Oaks last out. Post 6 is the second of the A Mile to Glory twins for me in distinction. She comes into the race with 6 wins from 15 starts and earnings of $351,000. While her sister is a frontrunner, distinction is the opposite. Has 2 victories this year, including the Grade 3 Jewels of the Queen Stakes and a career best performance in the Golden Mile Stakes with an 88 speed figure, week 7. Post 7 belongs to Megster, a homebred for Mike Springer. This 4-year-old daughter of Minions is out of the Big Bucks mare, Blue Jean Bucks. Megster comes into this race with 7 wins from 13 starts and earnings of $289,000. She has only raced 4 times this year, and 3 of those times were runner-up efforts. However, she did win her Week 8 start in the Grade 3 Ladies Stakes, where she earned herself a speed figure of 88. In Post 8, we have Tigrin, a homebred 5-year-old filly for Kelly Watcher. She is sired by Father Ralph and out of the original Tough Guy mare, One Tough Tigress. She comes into this race with 10 wins from 21 starts and lifetime earnings of $805,000. This year, she's seen the winner's circle once, but she made it count by winning the Grade 1 Elusive by Design by a length, week 11. Post 9 is one of the favorites in this race, and that is Bud Oliva's Gaze at the Moon. Bob paid $3.2 million for the Steward Red filly out of the Chief Mare August Moon. She is one of the many Father Ralph sired fillies in this field as well. Entered the season off of a second and last year's rendition of this race, and has won 3 of her 4 starts, including the Grade 2 Dirtway Park Fall Championship last out. Jack Meyer's Steward Bred Special is in Post 10. She is a $2.8 million purchase for Jack and has so far earned back $326,000 of that in 8 starts. This 3-year-old daughter of Torchwood is out of the Just Victory mare Sincere. Special comes into this race off of a 2 back-to-back Grade 1 wins and has 4 wins from 5 starts this season. Post 11 is Monrovia, a 3-year-old homebred filly for Louise Bayou. This daughter of real-life champions California Chrome and Beholder has $1 million in earnings and 8 wins from 10 starts. She won the Stewards Cup debutante last year and has 4 off the pace wins from 5 starts this year, including a Grade 1 in the Long Island Oaks, where she ran an 88. Post 12 holds another 3-year-old Stewartbred, and Lori Hamill's Dusted with Gold. This daughter of Arresting Valure is out of the Little Gift mare, Little Gold Dust. Lori paid $1.4 million for her at auction, and so far she has earned back $405,000 of that. Dusted with Gold entered the entering the Stewards Cup with 6 wins from 11 starts, and 4 wins of those are from this year, all in Grade 3 events. The last horse in this field is the 4-year-old Andrew James-owned filly, Street Smarts. Andrew purchased this California Chrome filly from the Steward for $2.1 million. She is out of the Henny Hughes mare, Academic. She has 7 wins from 13 starts and lifetime earnings of $436,000. Comes into this race with 3 wins this season, with 2 of those in Grade 3 races. And that is this field for the filly and mare Dirt Mile. And we will turn it over to the steward.
Big field, a very nice, evenly matched field, I think. Any one of these horses could win it. I don't see too many outclassed animals like the one horse in here that I would say, oh, maybe that one, not so much. But she is a Grade 3 winner this year, and that would be Magster. So why not Magster? Crazier things have happened. You may remember last year with Zombie Fish, a horse we'd never heard of, blew up the filly and mare sprint at 99-1. She went on to win 4 in a row, which was amazing. Let's see, is it time for me to call this race for you yet? No, it is not. The betting pool's not over 20K, so I'm going to twiddle my thumbs. No, I can't do that because my thumb is in a cast. Wah, wah. I'm just sitting quietly now waiting. 19,000. Do, 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 do. Don't you guys want to hear this race call so that Nina can, go ahead and talk about the next 12 horse field?
I think the next one has 15. Yep.
That's sad for you. All right. Oh my gosh, what just happened? I should probably not be sitting here. They're off in the filly and mare dirt mile. Shadrach took one bad step at the start, and Magster was also a beat slow. She goes up to the lead, though, Shadrach does. She's hustled up with Street Smarts chasing her, and then Greatness, Developmental there, too, and Dusted with Gold. Dubai Raider in between horses, Special Intervention, Gazing at the Moon, Tiggerin, Distinction, Magster, and Monrovia is the earlier trailer, as expected, and they go winging into the backstretch. Shadrach has it all her own way. She leads by 2.5. Street Smarts there second alongside Greatness in third. Developmental and Dusted with Gold. They have 4 lengths on the rest. It's a group field back there. Dubai Raider, Special Intervention, and Gazing at the Moon, then Tiggerin, Distinction, Monrovia, and Magster. You throw a blanket over those back horses, and they're going around the far turn, and Shadrach leads by 2. Dusted with Gold up into second, and Dubai Raider. Interventions there too, and Greatness. Street Smarts Gazing at the Moon. Monrovia's making her move, passing through horses. They're into the stretch. Shadrach spits the bit. It's Dusted with Gold, joined by Dubai Raider, and here's Intervention wide off the turn. 3 horses in a row. Intervention, Dubai Raider, and Dusted with Gold. Gazing at the Moon and Shadrach. Then Monrovia. It's Intervention and Dubai Raider. It's going to be Intervention in the filly and mare dirt mile. Dubai Raider ahead second, Dusted with Gold third, Gazing at the Moon fourth, and then Shadrach. The official winner is Intervention. She's a 4-year-old Dark Bay filly by Brilliant Dream out of Polynezia by Father's Day. She is a homebred for Pete Vella and now has 11 wins in 17 starts. She is also now over $1 million in earnings. Say hi.
Hi.
Say it really loud.
Hi.
That's a future race caller in training. Next up, we have the filly and mare turf sprint, a field of 15, going short on the grass.
I assume it's my turn now. So, there are 15 horses in here, and then the first post is Gear Larson's Steward bred, All Just Pretend. This 4-year-old daughter of Demand and Encore is out of the 2-time Stewards Cup winning Adjust the Mare, Sound Mare Closet Monster. She has 6 wins from 19 starts and earnings of $592,000. She won twice in year 45, including her last race, the Grade 3 Clares Stakes. Post 2 is Abe Froman's homebred Hit the Note, a 4-year-old daughter of Reach for the Moon out of the Adjust the Sound Mare Sounds Perfect. Hit the Note has $962,000 in lifetime earnings from 14 wins and 18 starts. This season, she won the Grade 1 Oceanside Ladies Dash as well as 3 other stakes races. In Post 3, we have Chris Evert's Steward bred Dancing Scimitar, a 5-year-old daughter of Damascus Sword out of the Adjust the Sound Mare Happy Dance. Chris paid $600,000 for this filly, and so far her lifetime earnings sit at $123,000. She has 5 wins from 15 starts, and with only 3 starts this year, her last win was unfortunately last year, week 13, in the Grade 2 Arcadia Filly Dash. Post 4 is Travertine, a homebred 4-year-old filly owned by Rafa Usaz. She is sired by Game Point Stallion, See the Stars, and Out of the Perfect Nightmare, Eden. She enters this race with 10 wins from 18 starts and $569,000 in earnings. Came over after her Week 11 race in Japan to run second in the Grade 2 Arcadia Filly Dash. Travertine does have 3 stakes wins this season, including 2 Grade 2s. We have Nikki Everdene's Steward bred Shying Away in the 5th post. She is sired by Looking Alive and out of the silent jig mare Whispered Music. Enters the race tonight with 511,000 in lifetime earnings and 9 wins from 15 starts. Has had a pretty nice season this year with 4 of her 5 stakes starting in the winner's circle. Starts ending in the winner's circle. She last win was the Golden State Distaff week 13. Next up, we have John Exett's homebred, The Idea of You, a daughter of Soldier Field out of the Perfect Nightmare, Laville. This 4-year-old comes into the race with 6 wins from 16 starts, but only 166,000 in earnings. She did win the Grade 2 Flying Female Stakes Week 11 in Canada, where she was awarded an 83 speed figure for her performance. She has a total of 3 wins for the year. Laura Smith's homebred Deschutes is next in post 7. She is sired by Reach for the Moon and out of the Sleepy Mare Snoozy. This 4-year-old has 7 wins from 19 starts and career earnings of 906,000. She only has 1 win this year, and that came week 4 in the Grade 2 Sweetheart Stakes, but was runner-up last out in the Grade 1 Island Fashion Stakes week 14. Post 8 is Susie Rydell's Spend It With You, a Steward bred that costs $3.9 million and is sired by Doesn't Need Saying and out of the Silent Jig Mare on Break My Heart. This 3-year-old filly has 7 wins from 10 starts and career earnings of $669,000. She has won 3 Grade 1 races this season, including the Barbados 1000 Guineas, Twilight Stakes, and the Week 14 Island Fashion Stakes. Post 9 is James Selby's talented homebred filly, Mindful of Beauty, who has won 9 of her 10 lifetime career starts and has earnings of $820,000. She is sired by Reckoner and out of the Most Admired Mare, Enticing Beauty. She won last year's Stewards Cup Filly Turf Dash, as well as all 4 of her starts this year, though only 1 was a graded stakes. She ran in 91 in the Grade 2 Barbados Middle Jewel, Week 6. Post 10 is Cleopatra, a 4-year-old filly owned by Carol Hansen and bred by Charles Bunbury. She is sired by Pitt Road and out of the Beagle Mare Dress. She has 5 wins from 17 lifetime starts with the earnings of $174,000. Has 4 starts this year with 2 stakes wins over in Europe. She came over week 13 for the Grade 2 Kentucky Crown Turf Dash, where she ran second. Next up, we have Status Almighty, owned by Lee Cara and bred by Martin Pennington. This 3-year-old daughter of Reach for the Moon is out of the As to War mare, Almighty Warzone. She has 7 wins from 10 starts and earnings of $485,000. She has 3 stakes wins this year, being with the latest being the Grade 2 Tudor Rose Stakes. Post 12 belongs to Magic Star's Martin Pennington bred Company Plate. She is a 3-year-old daughter of Adamantium Plate and is out of the Reach for the Moon mare Company Breach. She comes in the race with 9 wins from 12 starts and $329,000 in earnings. Right now, she is on a 5-race win streak with a campaign this season that took her everywhere from Turkey to Ireland to Cyprus to Brazil and back to the States. In post 13, a Stormy Peaks homebred Bus Stop, a 7-year-old daughter of Hand of God who is out of the Cord Mare Hold the Bus. She has 12 wins from 38 starts with earnings of $722,000. This year, she hasn't found her way to the winner's circle, but her last victory came week 8 last year in the Alamo Turf Sprint Dash. Post 14 is the favorite Izzy Rafferty's homebred Perfect Landing, who is on a 12-race win streak right now, though her whole career record is 17 wins from 22 starts and earnings of $1.5 million. This daughter of Reach for the Moon is out of the Perfect Nightmare, Perfect Rumor. This year she took down the boys in the Desert Turf Sprint before returning back to the ladies for the rest of her starts. Last but not least is Laura Smith's 4-year-old Steward bred When I See That Smile, a daughter of Fez out of the Silent Jig Mare on Break My Heart, which makes her the older half-sister to Spend It With You. Laura paid $1.9 million for this filly, who comes in with 15 wins from 18 starts and $1.2 million in earnings. This year she comes in after a campaign in Australia where she won the field in 4 stakes races, including the couple of Grade 2s. She comes back to the States to win the Grade 2 Kentucky Crown Turf Dash Week 13. Those are the 15 fillies for the Stewards Cup Filly and Mare Turf Sprint, and I'll turn it over to the steward.
That was some excellent squeezing all those horses in. I'm really, really impressed. All right, the betting pool closes at $9,200. You're all in trouble. For a 15 horse field, the biggest field of the day, going 5 furlongs on the grass, you'd be really, really sad if you were on the outside because that is a very short run to that first turn. So will Perfect Landing lose her win streak, or will she prove to be one of the best? She could have gone in the boys' race, but she's here instead. They're off. Mindful of Beauty was a step slow. When I See That Smile from the outside gate, hustled hard with Mindful of Beauty now rushed up after the slow break. Travertine, Bus Stop, Spend It With You, Hit the Note, Cleopatra, then Perfect Landing in between horses, Shying Away, The Idea of You, Status Almighty, Deschutes, Company Plate, Dancing Scimitar, and then All Just Pretend is at the back of a grouped pack, and it is When I See That Smile, now dueling with Travertine. Mindful of Beauty and Perfect Landing is coming on between horses, Bus Stop, Spend It With You, Hit the Note, Shying Away, Status Almighty, Cleopatra, and Deschutes, The Idea of You, and All Just Pretend is getting the reins shaken at her. It's time to go because they're already turning into the stretch. And When I See That Smile is tiring. Travertine has the lead. Hit the Note, and here comes Perfect Landing on the outside, trying to get between horses. Travertine's going to be the one to catch. Travertine has the lead. Here comes Perfect Landing. Hit the Note third. Travertine and Perfect Landing. Travertine, Perfect Landing can't get her. Travertine wins. A big upset in the Filly and Mare Turf Sprint as Travertine got to the wire first. Perfect Landing was second, then Hit the Note back third. When I See That Smile, and Mindful of Beauty. I must be in denial because I definitely just opened Perfect Landing's page to do the post-race thing, but it's not. The official winner is Travertine. She's a 4-year-old bay filly by See the Stars out of Eden by Perfect Night. She is a homebred for Rafa Usaz, and this is her 11th win in 19 starts. She got a revenge on Perfect Landing. Just missed to her last time. She's always been a really nice filly. I might try and buy this animal. Next up, we have the sprint. We have the sprint next. And that's a nice, short, even field. And by short, I mean 13. I lied. Okay, it's Nina's turn.
So the first horse in this 13-horse field is Luis Bayou's homebred 4-year-old colt Whiskey, a son of DeLorean. He's out of the Look I Am Scary mare, sharp as a bull. He has 11 wins from 17 starts with $1.7 million in earnings. This season, he has only one win, which was the Grade 3 Cosmonaut Stakes, but he did campaign in the Pegasus Sprint, where he was third in the Desert Golden Sprint. His last start was a runner-up in the Grade 1 Lost in the Fog Stakes. Post 2 belongs to Tian Long's Chicago Tower, a 4-year-old son of Chicago Bull, and out of the Good Guy Wears Black mare, Stalker. This Steward bred has 9 wins from 20 starts at $756,000 in earnings. The Steward Cup will be his 7th start this season. He'll be looking for his 3rd win. He won the Grade 3 Caracas Stakes last out with an 88. Nikki Kozart owns Reflected Desire, a Clinton Jacinto bred who takes post 3. He is a 5-year-old son of Bizzarini, and out of the AP Sidewinder mare, AP Mirror. He has 6 wins from 16 starts to his name and $331,000 in career earnings. Has 2 stakes wins this season, with his last start being a length win in the Kaiwan Silver Classic Week 12 in Saudi Arabia. Post 4 is Walk Off Grand Slam, a homebred for Abe Froman. This 4-year-old colt is sired by St. Longinus, and out of the Tyconic mare, What I Always Wanted. He has 11 wins from 18 starts and $1.6 million in earnings. This year, he won 3 of his 5 starts, including his last race, the Grade 2 Kentucky Crown Sprint. Post 5 belongs to Eric Deco's 11-year-old gelding, Gardiero. He is bred by Rafa Usaz. He is sired by DeLorean and out of the Nicholas Mare Betonia. He has a total of 55 career starts, with 20 of those being wins and $983,000 in earnings. He hasn't won a race this year, though, and his last victory was week 7 of last year. Post 6 is Garyland Farms 4-year-old Steward bred, Black Cloak. He is sired by Hope Rings True and out of the Nicholas Mare, Justice Served. Comes into this race off of a 2-length victory in the Grade 1 Lost in the Fog Stakes, where he ran his 3rd consecutive 87 speed figure. He also won the Grade 1 Crater Handicap Week 4 with an 88. So far he has 7 wins from 19 starts and $624,000 in earnings. Next, we have Keith Madlow's One Mission, a Mike Bryant bred 3-year-old gelding who has 8 wins from 14 starts and earnings of $322,000. Sired by Uji and out of the safety mare Spyware, he's won his last 3 starts this year, including the non-such sprint trophy week 14. In post 8, we have Garyland Farms' other entrant, the Steward bred Half Truths, who is sired by Promises and Lies, and out of the Ad Infinitum mare, She Talks to Villains. He has 12 wins from 18 starts and earnings of $1.1 million. This year he has 4 wins from 6 starts, including 2 Grade 2 wins and his last start, which was the Grade 3 Adams Stakes, where he ran an 88. Brianna McKenzie's Homebred Benefit is in post 9. This 3-year-old colt is out of the leitmotif mare Friend Zone, is sired by Hope Rings True. He comes into the race with a record of 10 wins from 12 starts and $1.5 million in earnings. Last year, Benefit skipped the Stewards Cup in favor of the 2-year-old Sprint Champs, which he won, and since then he has won 2 more Grade 1 state races, including his last start, the Grade 1 Lexington Sprint, with a 91 speed figure. Post 10 is Gold Jet's Finger, owned by Steve Handley and bred by Regina Haggart. This 4-year-old son of DeLorean is out of the Lookjet mare Gold Jet Singer and has 6 wins from 17 starts and earnings of $348,000. This year he competed mostly in allowance non-winner races, though he did prep for the Stewards Cup with 2 back-to-back stakes, which included a win in the Golden State Sprint where he ran an 88. Laura Ferguson has her Homebred Thunder in post 11. This is the son of the mighty Look Close mare Lightning and sired by Look I Am Scary. Thunder has 11 wins from 18 starts and $848,000 in career earnings. This year he has 3 wins from 5 starts, including a win in the Grade 1 Inglemark Stakes Week 12. Post 12 is the 4-year-old Steward bred A Good Man Goes to War, who was purchased for $1.3 million by Abe Froman. He is sired by Bizzarini and out of the Tyconic mare Instantly in Love. He comes into this race with 12 wins from 18 starts and $1.2 million in earnings. He did win his last 2 starts in front-running fashion this year, both Grade 1s, in the Saturn Handicap Inspired Fox Stakes. The last horse in this field is Dangerous Game, owned by Mike Bryant and bred by Xander Zone. The 6-year-old stallion is sired by Look I Am Scary and out of the Chinois mare My Kind of Game. His last win came week 2 in this year in the Mr. Frisky Stakes, where he ran an 88 speed figure after leading from gate to wire. Overall, Dangerous Game has 8 wins from 32 starts and earnings of $805,000. And that is this year's field for the Stewards Cup Sprint. And we can turn it over to the steward.
Yes, the steward is here, and a cat was definitely not curled up on top of the headset while I was eating the Thai food. The betting pool is going to close at $43,500, a very good sprint here, which gives me some hope for the future because, as we were pointing out yesterday, the 2-year-old sprint championships and the Stewards Cup Juvenile Sprint were both very, very light fields, and that's very, very unusual. So, yeah. Now, not so much on that. It's post time. They're off. Thunder was steadied at the start. Slow start for Black Cloak as well, and Dangerous Game is going to be the one rushed up as expected. A Good Man Goes to War, Walk-Off Grand Slam, Half Truths. Then Gold Jet's Finger, Thunder, Reflected Desire, Benefit, One Mission, Whiskey, Chicago Tower, Black Cloak, and then Guardio is the early trailer. A Good Man Goes to War now took the lead over from Dangerous Game, Walk-Off Grand Slam, and Half Truths, Thunder, Gold Jet's Finger, Reflected Desire, Benefit. He starts his run, then One Mission and Whiskey needs to get going. Chicago Tower 2, they're at the top of the stretch. Walk-Off Grand Slam still leads. Benefit is flying through horses, and here comes Benefit. He's the danger. Half Truths, Dangerous Game, and A Good Man Goes to War. Walk-Off Grand Slam. He's trying to hold off Benefit, but Benefit, as if shot from a cannon, Benefit is blowing this race wide open. Benefit, he's 3 in front. The race is for second. Walk-Off Grand Slam, Half Truths, and Thunder, but Benefit, a no doubt about it, winner today. Benefit wins, Walk-Off Grand Slam second, Half Truths, Thunder, Dangerous Game, and A Good Man Goes to War. The official winner is Benefit. He's a 3-year-old chestnut colt by Brianna McKenzie. No. By Hope Rings True out of Friend Zone by Le Motif. He's a homebred for Brianna McKenzie, and this is his 11th win in 13 starts. He is entered in for the Pegasus in 2 weeks. Will he recover in time? That would be super cool. Next up, we do have the Filly and Mare Turf Mile, right? Yes. And there is an unbeaten horse in here, Theme Park, 11 for 11. Can she make it a dozen? Let's find out, shall we? Nina.
The first horse in this field is a homebred for Rebecca Rose Hepburn in Hello Sweetie. She is a 4-year-old daughter of Frankel and of the blessed wolf mare River Song. She has 7 wins from 16 starts and $609,000 in lifetime earnings. She's had an interesting career this year with 2 races in Japan, came over for a race in the States, and then flew back to Japan for her last 2 starts. She was 4th last out in the Grade 1 Japanese Mile. Post position 2 is the undefeated 3-year-old Super Filly, Theme Park, a homebred for Ashley Gibson. Theme Park is started by Mickey and out of the Florida Keys mare, a whole lot of crazy. She has 11 wins from as many starts and $1.5 million in earnings. Last year, she captured the Stewards Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf before winning 6 Grade 1 races this year over in Europe, including her last start, the Grade 1 Irish Matron Stakes. Expect her to display her fierce closing kick at the end of this race. Chris Everett's homebred filly Kind Regard takes up spot 3. She is the 4-year-old daughter of the Frankel mare Blunt Regard, and sired by Do No Harm. She comes into this race with 6 wins from 12 starts and $258,000 in earnings. Her last win was week 12 in the Grade 3 Ouija Board Stakes, where she ran an 87 over with the Twilight. She also won another Grade 3 event earlier this season. Post 4 is Regina Moore's homebred Messages, a 4-year-old daughter of Do No Harm and out of the Mark Twain mare Magic Author. She has a bit of a seconditis this year, with her last 3 runs being runner-ups, including her last start, the Grade 2 Kentucky Crown Ladies Mile. Overall, she has 7 wins from 16 starts in her career and earnings of $1.3 million. In post 5, we have Concede, a Steward-bred 5-year-old mare owned by Justin Turner. Concede is sired by Franklin Mint and out of the Marquis mare, Contain. She comes into this race with 10 wins from 18 starts and $441,000 in earnings. She only has 4 starts this season, but did win 2 Grade 3 races over in England and Europe. Her last win was the Grade 3 Duchess Stakes, week 9. Post 6 is Danny Derby's Kiki, bred by Brian Leavitt. She comes into this race with 7 wins from 16 starts and earnings of $482,000. She is sired by Might and out of the Silver Screen Star mare, Dame of Destiny. This season, she has ran 5 times with 2 wins, including the Grade 3 Middle Ground Ladies Mile, week 9, where she earned an 89 for her effort. Emily Mitchell's Keeper of the Keys is post 7. She is a 5-year-old Steward bred mare, sired by Leader of the Keys and out of the Star Signs mare Striped Signs. She has 7 wins from 13 starts and earnings of $236,000. This season, she capped off her year with a Grade 2 victory in the Kentucky Crown Ladies Mile last out, where she earned an 87 speed figure. Post 8 is another Steward bred, this one owned by Nikki Everdeen, and Best There Was. Best There Was cost $3.2 million and is the daughter of Frankel and out of the 7 Keys mare Tranquility. In her career, she has 11 wins from 18 starts and $873,000 in earnings. This season, she has traveled from Europe to Dubai to India, back to the US, but hasn't won a race since week 3, which was the Grade 2 Sandcastle Stakes. Post 9 belongs to Kiyasurin Matsumoto's Steward bred How the Story Ends. She cost $4.8 million at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by Old Dan and out of the worldwide fame mare, the world over, she is a half-sister to last night's juvenile turf winner, Steel Slayer. She has 9 wins from 11 starts and $617,000 in career earnings. Has won all but one of her starts this season, including the Grade 1 New Zealand Sweepstakes Week 8. In post 10, we have last year's winner, With the Twilight, owned by Glenn Larson and bred by the Steward. With the Twilight is out of the Star Sign mare Striped Signs and sired by Speak in Rounds, which makes her a half-sister to Keeper of the Keys. She comes into this race with 11 wins from 17 starts and $1.8 million in earnings. This season, she has 2 wins from 6 starts, with her last victory being Week 10 in the Grade 3 Lady Shakopee Stakes. Post 11 is Willing to Burn, another Steward bred, but this one owned by Dan Gordon. Dan paid $1.4 million for this daughter of Silence is Bliss, who is sired by Darkheart. She has won her last 6 starts, which gives her a total of 14 wins from 18 starts and $1.6 million in earnings. Her last race was Week 13 when she won the Grade 3 Canadian Fall Stakes with a 92. Leonard Beagle's homebred Front Page Star is in post 12. This 3-year-old filly is sired by Early Edition and out of the King of the People mare, Notable People. Her only loss came last year in the juvenile fillies turf, and since then she has been rocketing out of the gate wire her fields. She has won the Grade 1 Cresselia Memorial Stakes Week 11 before capturing the Grade 2 Fight and Defense Stakes Week 14. In the outside post 13, we have Regina Moore's A Taste of Rain, a 3-year-old Steward bred filly sired by Rillian and out of the Darker Day mare, A Spot of Light. She has never been worse than second in her career and sports 6 wins from 11 starts and earnings of $516,000. She did win the Grade 1 South African 1,000 Guineas Week 5 before shipping to India and the Philippines. She came back to the States after a Grade 2 victory in the Philippine Matron Week 13. And that is this year's field for the Stewards Cup Filly and Turf Mile. Good luck to all, and we will turn it over to the steward. What did you get for 10 minutes between races?
I can't decide if this 10 minutes between races thing is amazing or awful because the night gets over really fast, but also we pass it back and forth between us so quickly that it's like, again? And Nina's probably like, again? Worse off than I am. So the funny thing about this race is that it's clearly the best of the best. Like, this is such a good field, and even aside from Theme Park, even if you took Theme Park out of this race, between Hello Sweetie and With the Twilight and Willing to Burn and Front Page Star, 3-year-old, like, such a good field. But what's funny about it is that the best turf miler filly in training, not here. She's not in this race, and we all agree she's not in this race. Like, no matter what Theme Park does, the best of them, not in this race. That's because Memento Mori will be going for her 3rd Stewards Cup win later today in the boys turf mile, which she won last year. She'll be facing some old tough rivals there, and if she could do it, that would be one of the great Stewards Cup things of all time, in my humble opinion. But even without her here, this race is insane. Theme Park, we've talked about. Messages, 1.3 million earner. I remember the moment that I bred both With the Twilight and Willing to Burn. from the same crop. Maybe some of the best turf milers I've ever bred. I'm seeing how many days apart I did that. Year 41 break. Well, that's just useless, isn't it? Who decided to implement that? Oh, that was us. All right, the betting pool closes at $32,400. Will it be theme park or will she be upset? Will Ashley make it through this race? They're off. Oh, and theme park was one step slow, as was front page star, but now front page star has hustled hard to the lead. Willing to burn will press her, and best there was, those three click clear early. Concede and with the twilight, how the story ends, and hello sweetie. Messages, theme park, keeper of the keys, kind regard, a taste of rain, and Kiki is the early trailer, and they go whipping into the backstretch. It is front page star. She kicks clear of willing to burn. Best there was sitting third, right alongside, then concede. With the twilight and how the story ends, then hello sweetie. Messages, theme park would have 5-6 lengths to make up. Kind regard, keeper of the keys, a taste of rain, and Kiki is still the trailer. They've got half the race left to go, and front page star is trying to sneak away. The 3-year-old filly leads by a length and a half. Willing to burn, best there was and concede. Here's theme park passing horses now. Theme park starts her run. Keeper of the keys and with the twilight defending champ. Messages, how the story ends, and hello sweetie. They're at the top of the lane, and front page star trying to kick away. Willing to burn right there chasing her, and here's theme park third coming along on the outside. Keeper of the keys and concede, best there was. It is front page star. Theme park, those two kick away. Front page star, theme park all out. Front page star and theme park all heart, stride for stride, and it's going to be a photo finish between theme park and front page star in the filly and mare turf mile. Willing to burn third, keeper of the keys, best there was, concede, and messages. In an effort to not make Ashley kill me, the official winner of the photo is Theme Park. She's a 3-year-old black filly by Mickey out of Whole Lotta Crazy by Ashley Gibson by Florida Keys. She is a homebred for Ashley Gibson, and she is unbeaten in 12 starts. Watch out for front page star, though. She's got your number now. That was quite the epic finish between two amazing turf miler fillies. It'll be interesting to see what the boys in Memento Mori can do later today. And next up is another race called the Dirt Mile. The first of Nina's big crazy races today, so we'll see if she can get through it. And maybe if I can find her. There you are. And it's Nina's turn.
All right. So, first, for the Dirt Mile, post 1 is a Steward bred Stuff of Happiness, owned by Tom Mudgett. He is a 3-year-old colt sired by Because I Am Happy, and out of the YM mare Stuff of Dreams. He comes into this race with 7 wins from 10 starts and $604,000 in career earnings. Has won all of his starts this year, minus 1, where he finished second to consecration in the Grade 1 Derby Mile. However, he did win the Grade 2 Indiana Mile last out with an 87. Post 2 is the 4-year-old The Darkest Part of Me, owned by Henry Mayer and bred by Jazz Brown. He is sired by Of Monsters and Men and out of the Shadow Baby mare, Mostly Shadows. Has won 3 races this season, including the Grade 3 Frisco Kids Stakes last out with an 89 speed figure week 14. He has a total of 5 wins from 8 starts and earnings of $172,000. We have Luis Polar's Hallmark in post 3. He is another Steward bred, costing Luis $6.1 million as a yearling, though he has already earned back $2.3 million of that with 10 wins from 15 starts. He was runner-up last year in the Stewards Cup Dirt Mile and again runner-up in the Pegasus Dirt Mile. However, he returned back to his winning ways week 10 in the Grade 1 Seattle Mile. Ran a 93 last out in the Grade 3 Iowan Meadows Handicap. Post 4, we have the year 44 Stewards Cup Maturity winner, All of Time for Danny Derby. The Steward Bread cost him $9.5 million, and he has earned $1.2 million so far. He has 6 wins from 10 starts and won his last race, the Grade 2 Mojave Stakes, with an 88 speed figure week 13. He is started by Doctor and out of the War Daddy mare Sleep to Dream. Post 5 is Celebrate We Will, a homebred for John Exet. He is sired by Take These Chances and out of the Just Victory mare Z Best. This colt ran a crazy 99 speed figure last out in the Assault Stakes, going a mile in a 16th on the dirt, and ran a long series of allowance races before that. He has a total of 6 wins from 14 starts and $202,000 in earnings. Post 6, we have a homebred for Steph Lonro in Salati, a 3-year-old son of Liam's Map out of the Big Bucks mare Frizette. He comes into this race with 6 wins from 10 starts and $384,000 in earnings. Won 3 races this year, including 2 Grade 3 events in the Grade 3 Metro Mile, where he ran a 90, and the Grade 3 Ace Ventura Stakes. Post 7 goes to my D.I. Hardy, a Steward bred 5-year-old stallion, sired by Taste of Shadows out of the I mare Cyrix. D.I. Hardy was 3rd last year in this race before winning the Grade 1 Pegasus Dirt Mile. His only other win this year was last out in the Mountain Mile Stakes week 13. He has 12 wins from 22 starts and $5 million in career earnings. In Post 8, we have Doctor Who, owned by Eric Nalbone and bred by the Steward. Eric paid $24 million for this colt that is sired by Doctor and now the Just Victory mare Timeless. He won the Grade 1 Pegasus Classic at the start of the year, as well as the Grade 1 Desert Mile. He did prep for the race. He prepped for this race in the 1 1/8 mile Grade 1 Long Island Handicap, Week 13, which he won with a 94 speed figure. Overall, Doctor Who has 11 wins from 15 starts and $7.9 million in earnings. Post 9 is Consecration, a 3-year-old bay colt owned and bred by Pahey's son. He is sired by Justin Act and out of the Father Ralph mare Holy Communion. Comes into this race off a 6-win streak, including wins in the Grade 1 Long Island Mile and the Grade 1 Derby Mile. Overall, he has won 9 races from 11 starts and $1.2 million in earnings. Post 10 is And Are Happy, a Steward bred owned by Howard Cake. This 3-year-old colt is sired by Because I'm Happy and out of the Henny Hughes mare Academic. He has 8 wins from 12 starts with $511,000 in earnings. He won 3 Grade 2 races this year and is prepped for the Stewards Cup and the Grade 3 Lay Your Armor Down Stakes, which he won with an 89. In the far outside post is Oncoming Tour, a 3-year-old owned by Keith Maylow and bred by Josh Lamp. He is sired by Oncoming Storm and out of the Just Victory mare Victory Tour. He has 4 wins from 10 starts and $142,000 in earnings. Last out, he battled it out with Celebrate We Will to run a 98 speed figure while still 2nd in the Assault Stakes week 14. And that is this really good field for the Dirt Mile. And we will turn it over to the Steward.
Nina's lucky this time. I was good to go. Usually when she tells me it's time to turn it over to me, I clear my throat in her ear and it's like, but I'm good this time to go. So, this is one of my favorite races on the card today. I think horse for horse, this race is excellent. I love that John Exet is trying to win a mile race with Celebrate We Will. I love that D.I. Hardy's still in training, and I'm going to miss him when he's gone. I really, really thought that Consecration... I'm going to make sure I'm not going to mess this up. Yeah, I really thought Consecration might win the Stewards Cup last year, but All of Time beat him that day by 4.5 lengths, so Consecration is looking for revenge. And then it's definitely just up front the battle of the 2 Doctor sons, Doctor Who and All of Time. Like, how do you just... Why is this a race where the horse that won the Pegasus so impressively might not even be the favorite? Like, this is just crazy. So, yeah, I think this race is the bomb, and I'm excited to call it once the betting pool gets to at least 25,000, which it's not at the moment. So, yeah. I wanted to just throw something out there. A friend of mine is getting a little bit nervous about a race coming up later today, and I felt the need to remind them, it is just a game. Don't ever forget it is just a computer crunching numbers. And said friend said, and I quote, just a game, pfft, get out of here with that. So I guess this is the kind of night where we remember that The Sim is not a game, it's reality. Yeah. Alright, it's post time for the Dirt Mile, a field of 11 going 1 mile on the main track. Who will it be today? They're off. Oncoming Tour stumbled and D.I. Hardy was one step slow. He gets up to go, though, and goes out for the front end, but is quickly joined by Doctor Who and Are Happy. Those three kick on. Hallmark, The Darkest Part of Me, Consecration, and All of Time alongside Celebrate We Will, their tightly grouped Stuff of Happiness oncoming tour, and Selatai is at the back of the pack. So it is Doctor Who. He's opened up by 4 lengths out here. No challenge early for Doctor Who and Are Happy in second alongside Hallmark and D.I. Hardy. They have another 4 lengths on The Darkest Part of Me. All of Time is passing horses now. Consecration, Celebrate We Will, Stuff of Happiness. And then the 2 trailers are Oncoming Tour and Selatai. Half a mile left to go, and Doctor Who, he leads by 3. Hallmark up into second, D.I. Hardy gaining ground third, and Are Happy done with this kind of horse. All of Time and Consecration, those are the ones still with a shot, and now All of Time is leapfrogging past horses. All of Time up into second past Hallmark and Doctor Who, they're joined at the top of the stretch. Doctor Who and All of Time, they kick away! The 2 Doctor Sons, it's Doctor Who on the outside and All of Time on the rail. They've got 6 lengths on Hallmark, now 7, D.I. Hardy fourth in Consecration. Doctor Who, All of Time, very fast out here. They've got 10 lengths on the rest of the field. All of Time, Doctor Who, a dozen in front. It's going to be a photo between the Doctor Sons, and they have shattered the world record for a mile, a record that stood for 35 years. The official winner of the Dirt Mile, All of Time. He is a 3-year-old black son of Doctor out of Sleep to Dream by War Daddy. He is owned by Danny Derby and was bred by the Steward, and he is now 7 for 11 lifetime, and a 2-time Stewards Cup winner. That's probably my favorite chart that I pulled today, because when I saw 12 in the margin, I was like, come on! That's cool. I didn't even see the time until later. They beat Inspired Star's 35-year-old mile record on the dirt. Pretty awesome. Next up is the one that we're trying to get Nina through. It's the Filly and Mare Turf, which I'm trying to find in my browser. It's going badly. A field of 12 going 1.25 miles on the grass. Led, of course, by the undefeated 3-year-old Titanic. Theme Park was able to do it, but will Titanic do it? Let's hope so, because otherwise things might get dicey up in here. Here's Nina.
Okay, breathe. All right. So the first horse in this field it's a Christianth, homebred for Mike Springer. She is a 4-year-old filly sired by Kingdom of Rust and now the Tell the Truth mare, Primary Colors. She comes in with 10 wins from 14 starts and $1 million in earnings. This year, she has 3 wins on her record, including her last out, which was the Grade 1 Golden Gift Stakes, where she ran a 90. Post position number 2 is I believe this is a Steward, well, it's a Steward bred, campaigned by Norman Architecture. I'm pretty sure Billy Piper goes back to the Steward, though, after this race. And she is sired by Itoko and out of the Jack Frost mare, Madeline Smith. She has 4 wins from 8 starts and $386,000 in earnings. She has only won 1 race this season, though, and that was week 3 in the Premio Ristorante. I don't know if that's how that's pronounced, but we'll go with it. Was second last out in the grade 2 Miami Oaks. Post position number 3 is Titanic, my homebred, a 3-year-old filly sired by Storm the Bow, and out of the feet mare Lavishing is 9 for 9 with $1.5 million in earnings. This year she has won 5 of her starts, including 4 grade 1s, including the Louisville Bunbarette and the International Oaks. Prepped for this race in the Queen Mother Stakes, which she won with an 87. Post position number 4 is Steph Lonrose Wild. She is a Steward bred that cost $2.1 million at the TBS 2-year-old sale. She is sired by Shaitan, and out of the Lexi mare, Dawn. Has 10 wins from 14 starts, $1.1 million in earnings. Has won her last 5 starts, including which are all of her races this year. And her last win was the Worcestershire Oaks, where she ran with an 87 week 13, but she also won the Grade 2 Premio Budgie Soto and the Grade 2 Prix La Liberté over in Europe. Post position number 5 is a homebred for Chris Fielder, and that is the Lost Siren. This is a 4-year-old roan filly sired by Clockwork and out of the Pride of Atlantis mare, The Perfect Kiss. Has 11 wins from 15 starts with $706,000 in earnings. This year, she has won all of her starts except for one, which was week 3, but she did win the Grade 2 Kentucky Crown Ladies Turf last out with an 89 speed figure over Icon Coco. Post position number 6 is Leanne Anderson's homebred, none other. She is a 3-year-old Dark Bay filly, sired by One and Only and out of the Trafalgar mare, Ninana. Has 7 wins from 9 starts, $410,000 in earnings. This year, she has won her last 3 starts, which she's won 3 out of her 5 races this year. She did win her prep race for this week 14 Friday in the Grade 2 Miami Oaks, which she ran in 90 over Billy Piper. Post position number 7 is a homebred for Scott Island in Manda. She is a 4-year-old filly sired by Stalingrad and out of the monster mare, Renewed in Spirit. 7 wins from 15 starts, $1.5 million in earnings. This year, she has 3 wins to her record. Her last win did come week 9 in the 9 furlong World Traveler Handicap, which was a grade 1 over Bolt from the Blue and Is Christianthe. Was second to Is Christianthe in the Grade 1 Golden Gift Stakes last out. Christina. Post position number 8 is a homebred for Norman Architecture in the Specials, who is a 6-year-old mare, sired by Two-Toned and out of the tattered mare, Lady Chastity. Has 16 wins from 24 starts. This season, though, she only has 4 races to her record, with 2 wins, including her last out, week 13, in the Grade 3 ABBA Stakes, where she ran a 91. Post position number 9 is Yachty, a homebred for Robert Forston. This 4-year-old roan filly is sired by Yaziel and out of the Trafalgar mare, Black Sail. Has 8 wins from 15 starts and $1.1 million in earnings. This season has won 4 of her 6 starts, including the Grade 1 Cupid's Arrow Stakes, week 10, where she ran an 89 speed figure over Belle Epoque and the Specials. Post position number 10 is Fortunate, a homebred for Stormy Peak. She is a 4-year-old filly sired by Pride of Atlantis and out of the vernacular mare, Forgave. 8 wins from 17 starts, $606,000 in earnings. This season has 6 starts with 3 wins, with 3 Grade 3 victories. Her last one was week 8 in the Grade 3 Eaton Stakes, where she ran in 91. Post position number 11 is Bolt from the Blue, a homebred for Mary Whalen. This 4-year-old filly is sired by Two-Toned and out of the Black Condor mare, Shidori. 6 wins from 14 starts, $1.4 million in lifetime earnings. Last out was third in the Golden Gift Stakes, but did win the Grade 1 Beverly B Stakes week 12 in Chicago with a 91 speed figure, which is her only win this season. And last but not least, in post 12, we have Fortitude, the other Stormy Peak homebred. This 4-year-old Chestnut filly is sired by Andre, and out of the If You Think mare for Thought, 7 wins from 16 starts, $382,000 in earnings. This season, she has 4 wins to her name out of 6 starts, including a win in the Grade 3 is Wanting Enough Stakes last out, where she ran an 84 over Adulteress in Regs. And that is this year's field for the Stewards Cup Filly and Mare Turf. And I'm going to turn it over to the steward.
All right, I hope you all are holding Nina's hand as her undefeated Titanic is warming up out here and going to the gate. But this is a much superior field to anything Titanic has faced yet to date. Yeah, there's a lot of really nice horses in here that I'd like to own. I think it was either Bolt from the Blue or someone else that I just paid a whole bunch of money for, thinking that I was getting a foal this year, and I'm not because they're going to Pegasus. Bah. Alright, it's post time. I gotta stop yakking my head off. Where's the race? The betting pool closes at $20,700. A dozen fillies and mares going 1.25 miles. I have not called a race nearly this long yet, so we'll see how it goes. We're making it up. They're off. A very good start for all 12 runners. It's going to be Bolt from the Blue showing speed and then joined by Wild. Those two kick away from the rest of the field. None other, Manda and Yachty. Then Titanic sitting in halfway through the field with Fortitude alongside and It's Christineth. Fortunate back ninth, then the Lost Siren, the Specials, and Billy Piper, her stablemate, is the early trailer. So it's going to be Bolt from the Blue who takes them down the stretch the first time with Wild. They're 3 lengths ahead of None Other, who's tight in with Manda, Yachty, Titanic, and Fortitude. It's Christineth there too, and Fortunate. The Lost Siren completes that pack. She has 1.5 lengths on the 2 Architecture horses, the Specials, and Billy Piper. They trail the field. So it is still Bolt from the Blue. She leads by about 2 lengths now, ahead of Wild, who has 4 lengths on the rest of the pack, still tightly grouped. None other in Manda than Fortitude and Fortunate. The stablemates together with Yachty, Titanic, she's lost a little bit of ground, the Lost Siren, It's Christineth, the Specials, and then Billy Piper. No change in order yet. It is still Bolt from the Blue and Wild, then None Other, Manda and Fortitude and Fortunate, Yachty, Titanic. It's time for Titanic to get going. She passes a horse and the Lost Siren, then It's Christineth, the Specials, and Billy Piper. Round the far turn with 1/2 mile left to go, and Bolt from the Blue, she leads by 2 1/4, unchallenged. She'll have to be reeled in. None Other is trying to be the one who gets her. Wild loses a spot. Here comes Titanic. She's 4th and moving up between horses and chased by Manda. The Lost Siren and It's Christineth putting in their bids, then Fortitude, who's lost ground, and here comes the Specials. They're at the top of the lane. Bolt from the Blue, she's inhaled by horses. Titanic is the first to get her. Here comes None Other. It's Christineth and Lost Siren. Those 4 are the ones who kick on from Bolt from the Blue. Titanic, It's Christineth, and the Lost Siren. But oh, look at this filly go. Titanic, she opens up on them now. She's going to make it 10 for 10, unchallenged, one of the best. It is Titanic to the wire, 2 lengths clear. It's Christineth second, the Lost Siren and None Other, then Bolt from the Blue and Manda. Wild back 7th and the Specials. But Titanic is your winner. The official winner is some horse. Titanic. She's a 3-year-old bay filly by Storm the Bow out of Lavishing by Feet. She is a homebred for Nina Olson, and she is 10 for 10. So now if you're Nina Olson, do you just eat the Pegasus money and retire her because the stress, you just can't with the stress? I think if any of us are Nina, that's what we do. But Nina is Nina, and she's going to keep her running. She'll be back in 2 weeks.
She will be back in 2 weeks.
Next up is the filly and mare sprint. 7 furlongs on the main track, a field of 11. And luckily, I think Nina's still with us, so here she is.
Okay, I can breathe now. Oh my gosh, that was stressful. Okay, yay! Okay, that's a much better reaction than I had last year. All right, so the first horse in this field is Jetaway Kiss, owned by Gigi Go Faster and bred by Xander Zone. She's a 3-year-old filly sired by Look I Am Scary and out of the DeLorean mare Delightful Kiss. 6 wins from 11 starts, $316,000 in earnings. This season, she has 3 wins from 5 starts, including her last win, which was the New Mexico Filly Championship, where she ran in 88. She also won the grade 3, or I guess she didn't win the grade 3, but she was second in the grade 3 Ladies Making Bacon Stakes, week 3. Post position number 2 is Xander Zones. She travels in time. This is a 3-year-old chestnut filly, cost $4.5 million at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by DeLorean and out of the Ad Infinitum mare, she talks to villains. 11 wins from 13 starts, $927,000 in earnings. This year she has 5 wins from 6 starts, and all of her races has earned her 90 or higher speed figures. She does have 3 grade 1 victories this year, including her last one, which was week 12 in the grade 1 Dancer Stakes, where she defeated Gales by a length and a half. Post position number 3 is Super Times Ahead, a homebred for Gary Lynn Farms. She's a 4-year-old black filly sired by Happy Times Ahead and out of the Look Jet mare Super Jet. Has 8 wins from 18 starts, $531,000 in earnings. This year she has 4 wins from 5 starts, with her last being a victory in the grade 3 Nikki Stakes, which earned her an 87. She also won the grade 3 Talk About Her Stakes and the Map to Heaven Stakes. Post position number 4 is a homebred for Darcy McBride in Sweet Sensation. She is a 4-year-old filly sired by Uji and out of the Nicholas mare Naughty Nikki. 13 wins from 17 starts, $2.1 million in earnings. This season, she has 3 wins from 5 starts, including wins in the Grade 1 Always in Love Stakes, Week 2, and last out, she won the Grade 1 Canadian Challenge, Week 14, with an 87. Post position number 5 is a homebred for Brianna McKenzie in Gales. She is a 3-year-old Dark Bay filly, sired by Happy Times Ahead and out of the Look Close mare Graces. 9 wins from 12 starts, $1.2 million in earnings. This season, Gales has 3 victories from 6 starts. She did win the Grade 2 Stewards Cup Challenge Stakes last out with an 88. And she also won the Grade 3 Paquette Stakes week 10 with an 87. Post position number 6 is When She's With Me, a Steward bred owned by Cindy Saunders. She is a 4-year-old that costs $1.5 million at the TBS yearling sale, sired by Shrieking Shack and out of the Great White mare Shark Bay. 13 wins from 19 starts, $1.1 million in earnings. This season, she has only lost 1 race, but she has 5 victories, including 2 Grade 1 wins in the Grade 1 Believe Land Stakes, which was week 2, and last out she did win the Let It Go Stakes, week 14. Post position number 7 is Wilder Mind, another Steward bred, this one owned by Regina Moore. She cost $3.3 million at the TBS yearling sale. She is sired by St. Longinus and out of the AP Sidewinder mare, Plenty Wilder. 11 wins from 19 starts, $1.2 million in earnings. This season, she has 2 victories to her name. Her last win came at week 12 in the Grade 3 Miami Filly and Mares Dash with a 91 speed figure over Soaraway. She also won the Grade 3 Sailboat Stakes, week 7 by 2.5 length over Father's Princess with a 91. Post position number 8 is a homebred for Danny Derby, and that is Shrieking Wife. She is a 4-year-old black mare, sired by Shrieking Shack, and out of the Lost Puzzle mare, Autistic Wife. 8 wins from 19 starts, $609,000 in earnings. This season, she does have 2 wins to her name, which were her last 2 starts, including the Grade 3 Evanescent Stakes, where she ran in 90, week 13, over a muddy track. Post position number 9 is the filly that shocked us all last year, Zombie Fish, owned by T.D. Palm and bred by Fogel McLovin. She is a black 5-year-old mare, sired by Great White, and out of the Look Close mare, If Only I Had a Heart. 7 wins from 22 starts. This season, after she won the Stewards Cup Filly and Mare Sprint last year, she did win 3 more races. She won the Grade 3 Office Staff Handicap and the Grade 3 Honorable Stakes. Post position number 10 is Know Yourself, a homebred for Mike Bryant. She is sired by Prospectives and out of the Dam, or out of A Sicker Me, out of Meteoric. Has 12 wins from 26 starts, $516,000 in earnings. This season, her last win came week 9 over a muddy track in the Shakopee Slipper Stakes. And last but not least is Cognac, a homebred for Luis Bayou. This 3-year-old filly is sired by Uji and out of the Look I Am Scary mare, Sharp as a Bull. 9 wins from 12 starts, $869,000 in earnings. She does have 4 wins this season, including her last out, which was the Grade 2 Kentucky Crown Lady Sprint, where she ran in 90. And that is this field for the filly and mare dirt sprint, and we will turn it over to the steward.
Thank you, Nina. It is definitely post time. The betting pool for this 7 furlong race closes at $9,000. They're off. Wilder Mind, one step slow. Sweet Sensation is going to go away alertly and joined quickly by Zombie Fish. Those 2 go on. When She's With Me up there too. Jetway Kiss, Shrieking Wife, and then Super Times Ahead. Wilder Mind after the bad start is mid-pack. She Travels in Time. Then Gales, Cognac, and Know Yourself is the early trailer. So they run up the backstretch to the far turn, led by Sweet Sensation, who is kicked away to lead by 1. Zombie Fish, now a danger, is tracking her second. She's 3 in front of When She's With Me. Super Times Ahead, then Jetway Kiss, Shrieking Wife, and Wilder Mind. Then She Travels in Time, and Gales is still 9th. Gales needs to get going. It's Sweet Sensation leading them with 3 furlongs to go. Zombie Fish and When She's With Me gets moving. She Travels in Time, Shrieking Wife. Here's Gales in 6th and moving up. They're at the top of the stretch. Sweet Sensation cracks. Zombie Fish does too. The new leader is When She's With Me. Here comes She Travels in Time on the outside. Gales, Sweet Sensation battles back. It is When She's With Me, She Travels in Time, Sweet Sensation and Gales. When She's With Me and She Travels in Time, Sweet Sensation game. But it's When She's With Me. She's going to get her nose down on the line. She Travels in Time 2nd, Sweet Sensation 3rd, then Gales, Zombie Fish, and Shrieking Wife. Shrieking Wife, that's the one. The official winner is When She's With Me. She's a 4-year-old Dark Bay Colt filly. She's a 4-year-old Dark Bay filly by Shrieking Shack. Is she really? Out of Shark Bay by Great White. She was bred by the Steward and is owned by Cindy Saunders. Is this Cindy's first Stewards Cup win? It is! This is Cindy's first Stewards Cup win. Congrats, Cindy Saunders. When She's With Me now has 14 wins in 20 starts. That's cool. I like that. Next up, we have the Turf Mile. Only 8 horses in here, thank goodness, because things were getting over the top there. Nina, I hope you had some water, because it's your turn again.
The first horse in this field is What's This, owned by Bernard Kwok and bred by the Steward, not out of the Steward. She cost $1.7 million at the TBS yearling sale. She had sired by Eohippus and now the King Kamahama, I can't ever say this name, and whatever. And Apapane is the dam's name, but she has 7 wins from 22 starts, $1.2 million in earnings. This season, she only has 1 win this year, but it was a grade 1 in the Ginza Mile Trophy, which was week 8. I wonder if What's This is retiring this year. But anyway, was second last out in the Southern California Mile, which was a grade 1 behind Distant Dream. Post position number 2 is Famous Air, a homebred for Iggy Timecheck, a 4-year-old colt sired by worldwide fame and now the Eohippus mare Aerobatics. 10 wins from 18 starts, $2.8 million in earnings. Has won his last 3 starts this year, including the Grade 2 Oceanside Mile and the Grade 2 Wellspring Stakes, where he both ran a 90. Post position number 3 is a homebred for Stormy Peak in Dark Shadows. This is a 4-year-old chestnut colt sired by A Darker Day and out of the Performing Tricks mare Tricks Are for Kids. Has 6 wins from 16 starts, $719,000 in earnings. This season has 2 wins, including a grade 1, I always say this wrong, you always yell at me, Monachi Mile. And with a 92, as well as the grade 2 Indian Mile with a 94. Was second last out behind Dandelion in the grade 1 Prix Benjamin Franklin. Post position number 4 is the Big Filly, a homebred for Rebecca Rose Hepburn, Memento Mori. This 5-year-old white mare is sired by Eohippus and out of the Star Signs mare Shalom. Has 17 wins from 20 starts and $5.3 million in earnings. She's only run 4 times this year, and her only loss this season was in the Pegasus Turf Mile, but she did bounce back to win the Dubai Millennium Mile with a 99 speed figure, as well as the Toronto Mile and the Arcadia's Ladies Mile last out, week 13. Post position number 5 is Dandelion, a homebred for Laura Haggerty. He is a 3-year-old gray colt sired by Rethan and out of the Lexi mare Fine and Dandy. 7 wins from 9 starts, $1.1 million in earnings. Won last year's Stewards Cup Juvenile Turf, and then has come back to win the grade 1 Palace of the Saints Stakes, as well as the Prix Benjamin Franklin last out week 13 with a 92. Post position number 6 is Jurassic World, owned by Randall Allen and bred by the Steward, costs $803,000 at the TBS yearling sale. He is sired by Guinnosaurus Rex out of the high-held mare Unforgivable. 6 wins from 17 starts, $366,000 in earnings. This season won the Louisiana Showcase Mile as well as Louisiana Champions Turf. Last out, week 14, both of those races he won with an 87. Post position number 7 is Stand Tall and Speak, owned by me, a 3-year-old chestnut colt. Cost me $1.4 million at the TBS yearling sale. He is sired by Night Broken and out of the Przewalski horse mare, Stay Still, Stay Quiet. 6 wins from 11 starts, $511,000 in earnings. This season, he did win the Grade 2 Indian 2000 Guineas as well as the Grade 2 Australian 2000 Guineas before coming over and then won his prep, the Grade 2 Arcadia Turf Mile with an 89 last out. Post position number 8 is Distant Dream, a homebred for Tamara Estes. This 5-year-old Dark Bay son of Frankel is out of the Old Majesty mare, Distant Majesty. 15 wins from 21 starts, $5.8 million in earnings. This season, his only loss came in the Grade 1 Dubai Millennium Mile. He did win the inaugural Pegasus Turf Mile for week 2, where he ran a 94. Did win his last race, or actually he's only ran in Grade 1 races this season. He did win also the Grand Tower Stakes, the Chicago Turf Mile Challenge, and the Southern California Mile, where he ran a 91. And this is the field for this year's Turf Mile. And we will turn it over to the steward.
I am here. Sorry, I just had a beauty salon appointment with my 3-year-old son, who was wielding a very sharp comb and kept tugging the knots out of my hair. And I would say, "Babe, you gotta be gentle, that really hurts." And he was like, "Mommy, it's just a sharp tool." Like I'm an idiot and don't know how hair combing works. This is all to say why I'm out of breath now that it's time for the Turf Mile, which is the next race, and features only $6,000 in the betting pool, so I'm going to be holding this race ransom. Someone go bet a bunch of money on a horse, please. Oh, what a race this is. Memento Mori in her final start. Right? Is this her final start? Or is she going to run for freaking ever? Rebecca Rose Hepburn, I'm talking to you. I'm pretty sure it's her last start. I'm like 90% sure. A bunch of horses in here will be on their way to the Pegasus 2 weeks from now, though. Famous Air, Dandelion. What about Distant Dream? Is he retiring? Can we breed to him? It's exciting. Alright, it's post time. Let's be done with such shenanigans. $33,600 in the pool. That's what I'm talking about. They're off in the Turf Mile. What's This bobbled slightly at the break, but otherwise they got away cleanly, and it is Dandelion who wants the lead. No pressure early from anyone else. Memento Mori, the white filly, is there. Stand Tall and Speak, Dark Shadows, Distant Dream, Famous Air, Jurassic World, and then What's This after the bad break is at the back of the pack. So it is Dandelion leading them on a loose rein. He's got 3 lengths ahead of Stand Tall and Speak. Memento Mori is back third, 2 lengths to Dark Shadows and Distant Dream. Famous Air is third last, then Jurassic World, and What's This trails the field. Half the mile left still to go, and Dandelion, but his lead is down to 1 length because Memento Mori is closing in on him now. Memento Mori is a threatening presence on the outside, and Distant Dream is the one threatening her. He's 3 behind the front, but he's coming on. Dark Shadows is 4th. Famous Air, he's a Stewards Cup winner, and then Stand Tall and Speak. Jurassic World and What's This? They're swinging into the stretch, and Memento Mori has taken the lead from Dandelion. He tries to battle back, and here's Distant Dream between horses. Now he switches to the outside, and the battle is joined. Memento Mori on the inside and Distant Dream on the outside. They kick away from Dandelion and Famous Air. Distant Dream, Memento Mori, one last battle between these two. It's Distant Dream and Memento Mori. Distant Dream gets his head down on the line. He defeats Memento Mori. They're 2 in front of Dandelion, then Famous Air and Dark Shadows. The official winner is Distant Dream. Man, this horse has earned a bunch of money. How did he do that? Oh, he won the Pegasus thing, huh? Yeah, that'll do it. He's a 5-year-old dark bay horse by Frankel out of Distant Majesty by Old Majesty. He is a homebred for Tamara Estes, and this is his 16th win in 22 starts. Man, this horse will have $7 million in earnings, basically. Yes. That's awesome. Kudos to the runner-up Memento Mori. She lost by a head in her final start. Her final record reads 21-17-3-1. And her earnings will top out at $6 million. What a battle those two gave us over the years. But enough about that turfy stuff, because next up is the ladies' route. 8 fillies and mares going 1.5 miles on the dirt. And I'm sure that Nina's excited that it's her turn again, but it is.
Congratulations, Distant Dream. Hopefully you and Memento Mori make lovely babies together, because I think they're going to. I think Memento Mori is going to Distant Dream or something. I don't know. Something like that. But next up, we have the ladies' route. First up, we have Eye of the Storm, owned by Susie Rydell, bred by the Steward. Cost $10 million at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by... She is a full sister to Heart of the Storm. Apparently the little bird in my ear just said. Sired by Easy on the Eyes and out of Awake As I Am mare, All That I Am. 8 wins from 14 start, cost 700 or has earned $740,000, which is far away from what her brother has earned. Has this season won 3 races, including the Grade 2 Heartbreak Hill Stakes, where she ran an 89. She also won the Grade 3 Alana Stakes, last out with a 92. Post position number 2 is With Best Regard, a homebred for Norman Architecture. This 4-year-old filly is sired by With Kind Regards and out of the Looking for Lightmare Surface Illuminati. 5 wins from 13 starts, $511,000 in earnings. This season has 2 wins to her name, the Grade 3 Wish Upon a Star Stakes and the Grade 2 Sim Horse Racing Ladies Marathon Stakes, where she ran in 93. Post position number 3 is a homebred for Mike Bryant and Keeps Me Awake. This 5-year-old bay mare is sired by Keep Your Promise and Out of the Wake as I Am mare Wakes Me Up. 7 wins from 23 starts, $529,000 in earnings. Has only 1 win this season, and that was back on week 2, the Classico Quindam, where she ran an 87. Was 5th last out in the Grade 3 High Flyer Stakes. Post position number 4 is the $16.6 million TBS purchase for Laura Ferguson and Caress, sired by R. Lions Reel and out of the Highest Steam mare, Now. Has 6 wins from 15 starts, $479,000 in earnings. This season has 2 wins, an allowance week 3, as well as won the Grade 1 Pascal Memorial Stakes with an 89 speed figure. Post position number 5 is a homebred for Brandon McNulty, an Optimist. She is a 4-year-old black filly, sired by Doomsday and out of the Just Victory mare, Absolutely. 6 wins from 15 starts, $335,000 in earnings. She won 3 races this season, including the Grade 3 High Flyer Stakes, last out with a 90, and the Grade 3 Grand Premio Criadores with an 89, week 7. Post position number 6 is More Than Friends, owned by Rebecca Rose Hepburn and bred by the Steward. Cost $7.1 million at the TBS 2-year-old sale. She is sired by Keep Your Promise and out of the Harry Potter mare, Hold My Heart. 5 wins from 15 starts, $433,000 in earnings. Won an allowance this year, week 8 with a 89 speed figure, and was 3rd last out in the Grade 1 Rakes Storicha Stakes. Post position number 7 is Little Wanderer, owned by Art Vandelay and bred by the Steward. Cost $7 million at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by Keyboard Courage and out of the Amida mare, Happier. 7 wins from 13 starts, $998,000 in earnings. Little Wanderer has won 3 races this season, including the Grade 2 New York Mini Marathon Stakes, where she ran an 86, and the Grade 2 Bishoju Senshi Stakes, where she ran in 91. Last but not least, in post position number 8, we have a homebred for Eric Nalbone, and that is Minneapolis. A 3-year-old chestnut filly sired by White Fang and out of the Vortex mare, Lauren. 5 wins from 9 starts, $760,000 in earnings. This season, she has 4 wins, including the Grade 1 Glory Stakes and the Grade 1 Little Lamb Stakes. Did run a 90 last out in the Grade 3 Pine Island Memorial Stakes when she wired the field, week 14. And that is this year's field for the ladies' route. And we will turn it over to the steward. Oh, hold on. Apparently she has to tweet. All right, now we will turn it over. She pressed send.
1.5 miles. Only 8 fillies going that distance, of course. If we wanted to give ourselves a break, wouldn't we just announce the next 2 races and be like, okay, moving on? I'm just kidding. I think this is a very, very interesting field because you've got all these top-notch older horses, but Eric has been saying for the last 2 years that Minneapolis is one of the best fillies he's ever bred. Like, rating wise, he's totally right. She's very, very nice. But 3-year-old fillies have a really hard time winning these older horse races. I think only 2 horses have done it. Thornbird and Wish Upon a Star, maybe I'm making that up. But I think I remember that being a factual thing. So, can Minneapolis continue that trend? And by that I mean become the 3rd horse to do it, or is it going to be older horses putting her in her place? With Best Regards is clearly a very, very nice animal, but she actually has been running with the wrong equipment most of her career. She just got the right stuff on either her last start or this start. So will that definitely improve her? And when Susie Rydell purchased Heart of the Storm's sister, Eye of the Storm, she did not plan on only winning $700,000 on the track with her, but come on, everything else is gravy with this horse. We really just know she's the dam of like 6 future Triple Crown winners, right? It's post time now for the ladies' route. $17,100 in the betting pool. They're going 1.5 miles on the main track. They're off. Caress bobbled at the start, but the rest are away well. 8 fillies and mares going 1.5 miles here, and Minneapolis and With Best Regards both have speed. Keeps Me Awake, and then More Than Friend settles in between horses. Little Wanderer splits the field. Caress, then Eye of the Storm, and Optimist is the early trailer. So they come down the stretch the first time, led by Minneapolis and With Best Regards. Those 2 bobbing heads, then Keeps Me Awake a length back 3rd. More Than Friend sits 4th. She's got 3 lengths on Little Wanderer 5th. Then Caress, Eye of the Storm, and Optimist. They go under the wire with 1 mile left to go, and Minneapolis has shaken clear to lead by a length. With Best Regards joins by Keeps Me Awake 2nd and 3rd. Then More Than Friends, who has 5 lengths on Little Wanderer. Little Wanderer, she's all alone out there, 5 behind More Than Friends, but 6 in front of Eye of the Storm, and the last 3 are grouped together, Eye of the Storm, Caress, and Optimist. No change in order yet. It is still Minneapolis, then With Best Regards, Keeps Me Awake, More Than Friends, Little Wanderer, Eye of the Storm, Caress, and Optimist. They now have 1/2 mile left to go, and Minneapolis is clear by 1.5 lengths. They're going to come and have to catch the youngster. With Best Regards is trying, Keeps Me Awake. Little Wanderer gets the cue to go. It's time to move. Then More Than Friends and Eye of the Storm. Caress not doing enough today. They're at the top of the stretch, and Minneapolis trying to kick away. Eye of the Storm, Little Wanderer, these are the 2 dangers now. With Best Regards drops out and Keeps Me Awake, so Eye of the Storm and Little Wanderer, the older fillies trying to chase down Minneapolis, but Minneapolis just keeps on going. Minneapolis never threatened in this race. Minneapolis, she leads by 2, and I'm going to cut this race call short because I heard a massive crash and I don't know what it is, and I got to go check it out. Eye of the Storm 2nd, Little Wanderer 3rd, and With Best Regards. Nope, it's still me. It's not you yet. I didn't turn it over to you. The official winner is Minneapolis. She's a 3-year-old chestnut filly by White Fang out of Lauren by Vortex. She is now 6 for 10 lifetime, and she is a homebred for Eric Nalbone, and she becomes one of those rare 3-year-old fillies to win the ladies' route. Next up, we have the marathon. Don't worry, the giant crash was just a huge box of Legos. Who knew? And there's 12 horses, and Nina is going to talk about them.
Congratulations, Eric. So the first horse in this field is Winding Path, a 6-year-old chestnut colt owned by Abe Froman and bred by Allie Weasley. Started by Rambling and out of the Ultramare Garden. 9 wins from 23 starts, $812,000 in earnings. This season, he has only 1 win to his name, and that was in the Grade 3 Corrientes Classic, Week 6. Did run second behind Keeper of Secrets last out in the Fighting with Wit Stakes. Post position number 2 is Center of Time, owned by Scott Island and bred by the Steward. Cost $1.6 million at the TBS yearling sale. Started by With Kind Regards and now the Maelstrom mare, the Girl on Fire. has 10 wins from 20 starts, $1.2 million in earnings. This season has won 3 races, including the Grade 2 Suburbia Handicap with an 89 speed figure, but last out won the Grade 3 Stakes with a 92 over Mordige. Post position number 3 is Dee's Friday Night, owned by Dee's Racing Stable and bred by Luis Pilar. This 4-year-old bay colt is sired by Rambling, and out of the stay inside mare Isla Bella. 9 wins from 15 starts, $1.1 million in earnings. This season did win the Grade 1 Sports Jersey Stakes Week 2, where he ran an 80. And then won his Grade 1 last out in the James Bond Memorial Stakes with a 93 over Keepo Secrets. Post position number 4 is Michael Looker's Good Together, a Steward bred that cost $1.1 million as a yearling. Sired by White Fang and out of the Flames mare Spirit, 7 wins from 20 starts, $731,000 in earnings. Last only win this season actually came in allowance race week 10, where he ran an 86 and was 6th last out in the Grade 1 Long Island Gold Cup. Post position number 5 is a homebred for Laura Ferguson, Firebolt. This is a 6-year-old black horse sired by Sword and out of the Harry Potter mare Godric's Hollow. 8 wins from 24 starts, $985,000 in earnings. This season only has 1 win as well, and luckily it was his last start, where he ran an 88 in the Island Stakes. Post position number 6 is Shadow Dancer, owned by Lisa Strummer and bred by the Steward, cost $4 million as a yearling, sired by Ball of Fire and out of the Stay Awake mare Shindo Falls. 9 wins from 20 starts, $967,000 in earnings. Has 2 wins this season, both of them in Grade 2s. The Sim Horse Racing Marathon, as well as the Brooklyn Stakes. He ran in 93 in the Sim Horse Racing Marathon. Post position number 7 is Thread, owned by Art Vandelay and bred by the Steward, cost $2.7 million as a yearling, sired by Newsroom and at the highest steam mare Now. 11 wins from 21 starts, $1.5 million in earnings. Has won all of his races this year. Most of the races have been with a 90 speed figure, including the Grade 1 Peru Jockey Club Stakes Week 14, where he ran a 90 over Dogmatic. Post position number 8 is Mordige, owned by Allie Hedgestone and bred by Scott Durham. 5-year-old Dark Bay Stallion, sired by Smolders and out of the Just Victory mare Vamoose. 4 wins from 18 starts, $280,000 in earnings. Last victory came year 44, week 5. Did run a 90 last out behind Centra Time in the Grade 3 Keen Stakes. Post position number 9 is Keeper of Secrets, cost $3 million for Danny Derby at the yearling sale, sired by Newsroom and out of the Father's Day mare Keep It Secret. 7 wins from 14 starts, $1.7 million in earnings. Has 4 starts out of 1/4 of his 5 starts this year, including his last out, which was the Grade 3 Fighting with Wit Stakes, where he ran a 92. Also won the Grade 1 Desert Marathon this year with a 91 week 6. Post position number 10 is Menzies, a homebred for Michael Looker. This 4-year-old colt is sired by Anointed and out of the same mare, Samo. 6 wins from 14 starts, $534,000 in earnings. This season has 3 wins, including 3 which were in Grade 3 races, Deal with the Devil Stakes, Priceless Forever Stakes, and the Coyote Lakes Handicap. Ran in 89 last out, which was week 3 over the mud in the Coyote Lakes. Post position number 11 is Bay, owned by Dusty Klatt and bred by Eric Nalbone, a 4-year-old chestnut colt sired by Newsroom and out of the Just Victory mare Powder Stash. 7 wins from 16 starts, $371,000 in earnings. This season, he has 4 wins, including the Grade 2 Peacemaker Stakes, Week 12, where he ran in 90. He also ran in 90 Week 3 in the Evaristo Stakes. And last but not least is Scott Island's Talk It Round. Cost $5.4 million at the TBS yearling sale. Started by Rambling and out of the Braveheart mare Breathe. 5 wins from 14 starts, $739,000 in earnings. This season, he has 2 wins. Last out, he won the Grade 2 Prefamagab Stakes, which is a Grade 2 with the 91, and he also won Week 1 the Thunder Road Stakes, which was a Grade 2 event with an 87 speed figure. And that is this year's field for the marathon, and we will turn it over to the steward.
Thank you, Nina. Let's just get right to it because we have a whole lot of running to do. We'll see how many times I call their names. A field of 12, a full field in the marathon, going 2 miles on the main track. They're off, and Good Together broke slowly, but in a race this distance it shouldn't matter, and in fact Good Together is the only one who wants to show speed today, and so he is pushed out for the lead. Shadow Dancer, Winding Path, and Center of Time, Talk It Round, the 2 stablemates together, D's Friday Night, Mordejai, Thread, Keeper of Secrets, then Menzies, Bay, and Firebolt. So they head towards the backstretch the first time, and it is Good Together, leading by a length and a half and dictating the pace with Shadow Dancer tracking second. Winding Path, Center of Time, and Talk It Round right together, D's Friday Night outside. 2 lengths back to Mordejai, and then Thread, Keeper of Secrets, Menzies, Bay, and Firebolt. Sorry, reading the chat room. Round the far turn for the first time, it is Good Together leading by 2 1/4. Good Together on a loose rein with Shadow Dancer tracking second alone as the rest of the pack is together. Winding Path, Talk It Round, and Center of Time, then D's Friday Night. A gap of 4 back to Thread, Mordejai, Keeper of Secrets, and Menzies, then Bay and Firebolt at the back of the pack. So they come down the stretch the first time, and they have a lot of running left to do, 1 1/4 left, so don't get too excited. It is Good Together, Shadow Dancer, and Winding Path, then Talk It Round and Center of Time, D's Friday Night, Thread, Mordejai, Keeper of Secrets, and Menzies, then Bay, and Firebolt. No challenge for Good Together yet. It is Good Together leading by 3. Center of Time wants to make a race of it, though, and starts to put the pressure on. Talk It Round and Shadow Dancer, those 3 right together. D's Friday Night still in the same position, then Thread. Winding Path is dropped back, Keeper of Secrets and Menzies, then Mordejai, Bay. It's time for Firebolt to get going, but no response yet from Firebolt. He can be up and down. So it is still Good Together, still leading by 3, but Center of Time is in second and Talk It Round. The stablemates right together ahead of Shadow Dancer. D's Friday Night, Thread, Winding Path, and Keeper of Secrets, then Menzies, Mordejai, Bay, and Firebolt. They're coming to the top of the stretch, and then the 2 island horses are set down to get after Good Together. It is still Good Together, but they Center of Time on the inside and Talk It Round on the outside. They swarm up around him, then Shadow Dancer, D's Friday Night, and Thread, Keeper of Secrets coming on, and Menzies. It is Center of Time who takes the lead. Talk It Round on the inside, right there with him. They kick clear of Good Together, who tries to fight back, then Thread and D's Friday Night, Center of Time, and Talk It Round. The 2 island horses in a battle in the stretch. Center of Time and Talk It Round. Scott Island is going to run 1-2 in the marathon with Center of Time and Talk It Round in an awesome finish. Good Together third, Thread, D's Friday Night, and Keeper of Secrets. The official winner is Center of Time. He's a 5-year-old bay horse by With Kind Regards out of The Girl on Fire by Maelstrom. He is owned by Scott Island and was bred by the Steward. He's now 11 for 21 lifetime, and he defeated his stablemate Talk It Round in that one. Next up, we have the last big 3 of the year, with the Distaff leading the charge, 11 horses going 1 1/8 miles, and these are some fancy animals. So here's Nina.
Congratulations, Scott. So the first horse in this race is Breathe In, a 3-year-old Steward bred owned by Art Vandelay, sired by Rambling, and out of the East Mare Chocolate. Art paid $15.8 million for this filly, has 6 wins from 9 starts, $634,000 in earnings. This season, she has 4 wins to her names, including the Grade 1 California Oaks, where she ran in 90, and she did win the Grade 1 Wish Upon a Star Stakes the last out with a 91. Post position number 2 is Halliday, a homebred for Susie Rydell, a 4-year-old bay filly sired by Newsroom and out of the other man mare Calamity. 11 wins from 15 starts, $1.8 million in earnings. It comes in off of a 4-win streak. Her only loss this season came against the Boys in the Hot Springs Handicap, week 4. Won 3 Grade 1s, including the Beholder Stakes, the Faith Unwavering Stakes, and last out won the Rags to Riches Stakes with a 92. Post position number 3 is the 3-year-old Steward bred and owned, but campaigned by Laura Ferguson, sired by Messiah, and out of the Braveheart mare Adventure. 5 wins from 9 starts, $773,000 in earnings. This year she has 3 wins to her name, including the Grade 1 Lexington Oaks, the Grade 1 Toronto Oaks, and she also won the Grade 1 Midsummer Oaks with a 90. Last out, she was second behind Style in the Grade 1 Fading Star Stakes. Post position number 4 is the very expensive Elise Peveril-owned Steward bred Your Hand in Mine. Cost Elise $28 million at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by Messiah, and out of the War Daddy mare Just One Kiss. 5 wins from 9 starts, $1 million in earnings. Won 2 Grade 1s last out in the Saratoga Oaks, where she ran a 90 over What to Believe, and then she beat Captain Memories last out in the Canadian Sorority, which also a Grade 1, with an 88. And she also won the Silver Bullet Stakes week 2. Post position number 5 is CN Tower, a homebred for Art Vandelay, a 4-year-old filly sired by Doctor, and out of the Father Ralph mare Marilyn Million. Has 6 wins from 13 starts, $780,000 in earnings. This season has 2 wins to her name. Won the Grade 2 Keep Dreaming Stakes with a 97 week 11, and then won her prep the Grade 1 Loki Reflection Stakes, week 14 with a 92. Post 6 is John Exet's homebred One Sweet World. This 4-year-old filly is sired by Through the Ghosts and out of the God mare Yellow Flame. 8 wins from 15 starts, $1.2 million in earnings. This season has won 4 races, the Grade 3 Piece of the Moon Stakes, the Grade 2 Trap Stakes, the Dream of Summer Stakes, and won his last race, the Grade 1 Pristine Stakes, with a 90. Post 7 is Jack Toward's homebred, Spectacular Affair. She won the Louisville Oaks earlier this year. She is a 3-year-old filly sired by Mana Mystery out of the Ice of Fire mare Neapolitan. 5 wins from 7 starts, $899,000 in earnings. Won her prep for the Stewards Cup in the Grade 2 Giant Risk Stakes. As I had mentioned, she did win the Louisville Oaks with a 91 speed figure, as well as the Grade 3 Believe You Can Stakes with an 85. Post position number 8 is Danny Derby's Paint the Night. Cost $12 million for Danny at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by Horcrux and out of the Awake As I Am mare, All That I Am, making her a half-sister to Heart of the Storm. 6 wins from 9 starts, $1 million in earnings. This season, she has 4 wins to her name. She did win the Grade 1 Long Island Acorn, as well as her last race, the 319 cap with a 91. Post position number 9 is a homebred for Mike Bryant, Best Kept Secret, a 4-year-old bay filly sired by Keep Your Promise and out of the Just Victory mare Just Breathe. 7 wins from 15 starts, $597,000 in earnings. This season, she has won 2 races, the Grade 2 Valentine Handicap, as well as the Grade 2 Metropolitan Matron with a 91. Post position number 10 is Amandine, owned by Mark Larson and bred by the Steward. Cost $6.5 million at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by Anointed, and now the highest steam mare, Now. 4 wins from 8 starts, $203,000 in earnings. Won 3 races this season. A non-winner is a week 2, the Raymundo Cup, which was a Grade 3 event with a 92 speed figure, and then won her prep for this race in the Grade 3 Michigan Oaks with a 92. And post position number 11 is a homebred for Eric Nalbone, Wine and Wisdom, a 4-year-old chestnut filly sired by Harry Potter and now the Ultra American Tiga. 5 wins from 13 starts, $377,000 in earnings. This season, she has 1 win, and that was week 5 in the Show and Tell Trophy. She was 3rd in her last start, the Loki Reflection Stakes, behind Cien Tauter and Latour. And that is this year's field for the Distaff. And we will turn it over to the Steward.
Yes, it is Distaff time. That is the race that is coming up. And the betting pool is at $59,000. So let's dive right in. A absolutely star-studded field, as it always is in the Distaff. This year's Louisville Oaks winner will take on some of the best older fillies and mares. And Paint the Night, who could have gone in the Classic, could have gone in the ladies' route. Instead, she's here and will she will try to win the thingy. The Distaff. Okay, let's just call it. They're off in the $2-ish million Distaff. What's the purse on this thing? Yeah, $2 million Distaff. Let's try again. And they're off in the $2 million Distaff, and Spectacular Affair stumbled at the start. Cien Tauter is away well, flashing speed. No one wants to go with her early. Halliday, then Best Kept Secret. Spectacular Affair hustled up, then One Sweet World. Your Hand in Mine, Dream, Paint the Night, Breathe In, Wine and Wisdom. And Amandine is the early trailer as they go sweeping around that first turn, and Cien Tauter leads by a length. Halliday second, 2 lengths in front of Best Kept Secret and Spectacular Affair. One Sweet World, then Your Hand in Mine, Dream, Paint the Night, Breathe In, Wine and Wisdom, and Amandine is the trailer still. Up the backstretch they run, and Cien Tauter leads by a length, unchallenged by Halliday, who simply tracks her second. She's 3 in front of Best Kept Secret, 2 to Spectacular Affair, and One Sweet World. Your Hand in Mine is 6th, then Dream. Breathe In back 8th, a nose in front of Wine and Wisdom, with Paint the Night, who got shuffled back and is now 10th. Second last is Paint the Night. She would have to make up about 8 lengths to get to the lead, and Amandine is the trailer. Half a mile left to go, and Cien Tauter leads by 2.5. No one to challenge her yet, with Halliday second and Spectacular Affair up third. One Sweet World there too, then Best Kept Secret. Breathe In is passing horses on the outside. Now she switches to the rail. Finally, Paint the Night gets going, and Paint the Night's going to have 3 furlongs to make up all the ground, and Your Hand in Mine is 8th, then Dream. They're at the top of the stretch, and Cien Tauter leads by 2. Halliday spits the bit. Spectacular Affair takes over second. One Sweet World, Breathe In, and here comes Paint the Night down the outside. It is Cien Tauter. Breathe In, her stablemate is second. Paint the Night gaining ground on the outside, and Spectacular Affair. It is Cien Tauter, and now Paint the Night the danger. Cien Tauter has more in reserve, but Paint the Night coming. Cien Tauter and Paint the Night. It is Cien Tauter to win the Distaff. Paint the Night second, a length back to Breathe In third, then Spectacular Affair, One Sweet World, and Halliday. The official winner of the Distaff is Cien Tauter. She's a 4-year-old gray filly by Doctor, out of a mare you may have heard of named Marilyn Million by Father Ralph. She is a homebred for Art Vandelay, and she is now 7 for 14 lifetime. She won by a head over Paint the Night, who was flying from the back of the pack with no pace. spectacular affair. She had stumbled. Who knows where she would have been. And every time I said the word breathe in, I had to laugh because I seriously can't do that right now. Next up, we have the turf. A field of 11. Really, it's a field of 8 with 3 jokers in it. Going a mile and a half on the grass. Here's Nina.
Well, technically, there's like 2 races going on in this field. The best of the worst or something like that, as well as then the other horses. So first up, we have Flamengo in Death. He is a 6-year-old gelding for homebred for Danny Derby out of the ever famous Portrait in Death, inspired by Flamengo. 1 win and has a career high of 1 as a speed figure in the desert turf. Post position number 2 is also a homebred for Danny Derby, Scary in Death, sired by Look I Am Scary and out of, again, Portrait in Death. This one is pretty much slacking in that worst horse division. 42 speed figure. Come on, Danny, you know better. Post position number 3, though, is a real horse that we should care about, and that is Dreamcast, a homebred for Nick Gilmore, a 4-year-old bay colt sired by Sydney and out of the Mostly in the Dark mare, Shadowcast. 11 wins from 14 start. It's $810,000 in earnings. Has won all of his races this season, including the Grade 2 Kentucky Crown Turf last out with an 88. Also won the Chief Bearheart Stakes week 10 with an 89. Post position number 4 is the Pegasus Turf winner, Take Me Up, owned by Brandon McNulty, bred by the Steward, cost $3.1 million at the 2-year-old sale. Sired by Yatoko and out of the Everest mare, Prankster. 9 wins from 14 starts, $7.6 million in earnings. Was 7th last out in the Arc de Triomphe, but did win obviously the Grade 1 Pegasus Turf and the Grade 3 Wicklow Cup and the Cypriots Cup, which was a Grade 3. Post position number 5 is Jump Into the Fog, owned by Eric Nalbone, bred by the Steward, cost $5 million at the TBS 2-year-old sale. Sired by Kingdom of Rust and out of the Elysian Park in Juliet. 7 wins from 8 starts, $1.2 million in earnings. This season has won 4 of his 5 starts. Shocked everyone when he ran 4th in the Grade 1 Louisville Bunbury. But did come back to win 3 Grade 1s, the London Derby, the Irish Derby, and the Everest Stakes. His prep for this race, the Everest Stakes, he ran in 91. Post position number 6 is Sideshow, a homebred for Garrett Folsom, 4-year-old Dark Bay Colt, sired by Jabberwocky and out of the Untamed Princess mare, Northern Girl. 8 wins from 15 starts, $4.5 million in earnings. Was 5th in the Arc last out, but has won 3 races this season, including the Desert Gold Stakes, the Grade 3 Prix Versailles Stakes, and the Grade 1 King George Stakes, where he ran in 90. Post position number 7 is a 3-year-old filly, homebred for Carol Hansen, Queen of Atlantis. This 3-year-old has won, sired by Kingdom of Rust and out of the Pride of Atlantis mare, Moon of Atlantis. 5 wins from 8 starts, $791,000 in earnings. Won the Yorkshire 1000 Guineas last out week 13 with a 100 speed figure. Almost broke, I believe, the track record for that distance, or it was close, or maybe that was the Irish. Yeah, I think so. And then won the Irish Oaks with a 99 before that. Also won the Danish 1000 Guineas, where she ran in 90, week 3. Post position number 8 is a homebred for Ryan Whitehead, Rostov. This 4-year-old black colt is sired by Stalingrad and out of the Tattered mare, Restored Royalty. 7 wins from 14 starts, $1.2 million in earnings. His only win this season came week 2 in the Grade 2 Elevation Stakes, where he ran in 96. His last race was week 12, where he ran 3rd in the Grade 1 Chicago Million. Post position number 9 is a homebred for Elise Peveril, and that is Ebola in Death. She's also a slacker, has run a 27, which At least I would have thought you, the Zipless 2 fame, would know better than that. But yeah, we'll see who is the worst of those three. Post position number 10 is the horse who hates to win or hates me, one of the two, and that is Coleman Hell. He is a Steward bred, cost $1.9 million at the TBS yearling sale, sired by Calgone and out of the Gibraltar mare Instrumental. 12 wins from 16 starts, $5.9 million in earnings, was second last out in the Arc de Triomphe. Of course, did win the Chicago Million, though, and the Miami Turf Handicap. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because I tapped the real life one on the shoulder and interrupted him, so I jinxed it all. So thank you, Steward. And post position number 11 is Reddington, owned by Laura Ferguson, cost $12 million at the TBS yearling sale. So, obviously bred by the Steward, sired by Sydney, and out of the frayed mare, Shahira. 11 wins from 21 starts, $6.9 million in earnings. This year won the Desert Turf Classic, which is a grade 1 with a 99 speed figure. And he also won a walkover week 2, but was third last out in the Arc. And that is this year's field for the Stewards Cup Turf. We will turn it over to the Steward.
Excellent field here. I really, really do love this field. The only horse that could be here that isn't here is the Arc winner with Care, who did retire after that race because it's so hard / nearly impossible to win both the Arc and the Turf. But a filly that had been battling with her all year, Queen of Atlantis, she's here, so it'll be interesting to see how she does versus, you can imagine how with Care would have done. It's so tough to beat older males, though, and there are so many in here, of course, led by Coleman Hell, who I know that Nina bags on him all the time, but raise your hand if you'd like to have a 12 for 16, $5.9 million earner in your barn. I'm guessing most of you would. So take that, Nina. His arch nemesis in here too is Take Me Up, who won the Pegasus this year. So this is an awesome race. I love this one. There's a couple horses who could be in here that weren't. They went to Australia, such as Time Limit and Suzuka Silence. But this race is still quite good. So the betting pool closes at $42,800. For those asking about speech to text and stuff, I actually do that really well, especially on my phone. But it didn't like horse names, so if I was like, and I can't think of a good one because all of these horses in here have real normal names. But Rafiq is my good example from yesterday. I tried to say Rafiq and it was like, what's a Rafiq? And yeah, it didn't work. Anyway, post time, yes, Turf. They're off. And everyone broke well. Let's try again, shall we? They're off. It was a perfect start in the Turf. I give up. Queen of Atlantis out quickly and will be joined by Take Me Up, putting the pressure on, and then arch rival Coleman Hell. Those three kick on with it, and Rostov will take back fourth. Jump Into the Fog and Dreamcast, then Sideshow, Reddington, Flamengo in Death, Ebola in Death, and Scary in Death is the early trailer. So they come down the stretch the first time, led by the filly, Queen of Atlantis, dueling with Take Me Up and Coleman Hell. The pace is very fast early. They're 4 lengths in front of Rostov. Jump Into the Fog is fifth, then Dreamcast, Sideshow, Reddington, and he's only a neck in front of the 3 in Deaths, Flamengo, Ebola, and Scary. Under the wire the first time with 1 mile left to go. It is Queen of Atlantis, and she is shaken clear by a length. Coleman Hell takes up second alongside Take Me Up third. They've got 7 lengths on Rostov. Those 3 are the ones to beat. Jump Into the Fog is fifth ahead of Dreamcast, who has 4 lengths on Flamengo in Death. Sideshow has let that one get ahead of him. Sideshow has let Flamengo in Death ahead. Then Reddington, Ebola in Death, and Scary in Death is the trailer by 8 lengths. No change in order yet. It is Queen of Atlantis, then Coleman Hell and Take Me Up together. Rostov is fourth, Jump Into the Fog and Dreamcast, then Flamengo in Death. It's getting better now. Sideshow and Reddington past that one, then Ebola in Death and Scary in Death. Round the far turn, and Queen of Atlantis faces her first challenge as Coleman Hell takes the lead. Coleman Hell now a neck in front of Queen of Atlantis. Take Me Up is 2 lengths back third, then Rostov, Jump Into the Fog, and Sideshow. Dreamcast, Reddington gets the cue to go, but he's not doing enough today, and then the in-death horses have fallen 12 lengths behind. They're at the top of the stretch, and Queen of Atlantis battles back. Queen of Atlantis, she takes the lead back from Coleman Hell and kicks on. Sideshow's up third, Take Me Up and Rostov, then Reddington and Jump into the Fog. But Queen of Atlantis, look at her go! Queen of Atlantis has put Coleman Hell away! The 3-year-old filly, she's darting clear. Queen of Atlantis, Coleman Hell has no answer for her. Sideshow is third and then Take Me Up, but Queen of Atlantis, whoa, those 3-year-old fillies are good. Queen of Atlantis, she's gonna win the turf by 2. Queen of Atlantis, your winner. Coleman Hell and Sideshow right there, second and third. Then Take Me Up fourth, and Rostov. The official winner is Queen of Atlantis. She's a 3-year-old black filly by Kingdom of Rust out of Moon of Atlantis by Pride of Atlantis. She is a homebred for Carol Hansen, and this is Carol Hansen's first Stewards Cup win. No big deal, winning the turf with a 3-year-old filly. Has that even been done before? Queen of Atlantis is now 6 for 9. And who's with me in calling match race on Queen of Atlantis and Titanic? How fun would that be? Are they both in the Titanic? In the Titanic. Are they both in the Pegasus? No. I want them to both be in the Pegasus. That'd be really fun. Someone poke Carol and make her buy a Pegasus spot in the next 3 hours. That'd be fun. Okay, next up we have the final one of the night. It is the Stewards Cup Classic, and somehow post time's in 10 minutes because this night never ends. It is a field of 9 going 1.25 miles on the main track. Such a nice field, and one last time, give it up for Nina.
Fun thing is that Titanic has already beat with Care and Queen of Atlantis, but who's counting? Anyway, we're here for the Stewards Cup Classic. Congratulations, Carol, on Queen of Atlantis winning. Again, Coleman Hell, I don't know what his problem is. Whatever. After the Disco is the first horse in this Stewards Cup Classic. I believe all the horses in this field have at least earned over $1 million, I think. Yeah. So After the Disco is owned by Scott Island. It cost $761,000 at the TBS yearling sale, sired by Firefly and out of the Voldemort mare Secret Order. 9 wins from 21 starts, $2.7 million in earnings. His last victory came in the Grade 2 Metropolitan Handicap, week 10. He also won a race week 4 called the Recovery, which I believe was a sponsored race in New York with an 85. Post position number 2 is the richest horse ever in the sim, Heart of the Storm, owned by Dan Gordon. Cost him $1.4 million at the TBS yearling sale. He is a 6-year-old bred by the Steward, sired by Easy on the Eyes and Out of the Wake as I Am mare, All That I Am. 15 wins from 28 starts. Last out, he was second to Alonzi in the Grade 2 Arcadia class, or Grade 1 Arcadia Classic. He did win 3 Grade 1s in a row, the Freedom Stakes, the Sayonara Stakes, and the Typhoon Stakes. I believe they were all sponsored overseas for $1 million, something like that. He ran, his fastest speed figure was a 93 in the Freedom Stakes, was second in the Grade 1 Desert World Cup and the Pegasus. Post position number 3 is Addicted to Chaos, a homebred for Jack Mayer, a black 4-year-old colt sired by Maelstrom and out of the Harry Potter mare, Hallowed Halls. 7 wins from 16 starts, $1.6 million in earnings. Won the Grade 1 Long Island Gold Cup week 14 with a 90. Also won the Grade 1 Spa Classic week 11 with a 98 over Doctor Who we just saw battle it out with all of time. Also won the Grade 2 Jet Ski Handicap with a 91 over Nick. Post position number 4 is a homebred for Rebecca Rose Hepburn in Iron Spirit. This is a 4-year-old colt sired by Rambling and out of the War Daddy mare, Frostburned. 9 wins from 14 starts, $1.4 million in earnings. Has 3 wins or no, wait. This year he has 4 wins. Won the Grade 1 American Maturity Stakes week 10 with an 88. Last out did win the Grade 2 Summerbird Stakes over a sloppy track with an 89. Also won the Grade 3 Baby Blue Stakes with a 90. Post position number 5 is Louise Bayou's Brilliantly, bred by the Steward. Cost Louise $7 million at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by Messiah and out of the East Mare Chocolate. 7 wins from 14 starts, $1.6 million in earnings. This season, he has won 2 races, the Grade 1 Arcadia Million with a 90, as well as the Grade 1 Inglewood Gold Cup with a 90. Was third last out in the Arcadia Classic behind Alonzi and Heart of the Storm, where he ran an 80. Post position number 6 is Art Vandelay's homebred James Dean, who is probably the heavy favorite in this field. This bay 4-year-old colt is sired by Newsroom and out of the Night Fury mare Pact. Has 8 wins from 13 starts, $5.4 million in earnings. Has won all 4 of his stakes races this season, including the Desert World Cup, where he ran a 99. Also won the the Things You Can Think Stakes, which I believe sponsored, the In Excess Stakes, which was a Grade 3 with a 97, and the Grade 1 Oceanside Classic with a 93. Post position number 7 is this year's Derby winner, a homebred for Elise Peveril. Gryffindor is a 3-year-old chestnut colt sired by Paramount and out of the Voldemort mare, Dwell on Dreams. 8 wins from 10 starts, $2.3 million in earnings. He won this year he won the New York Stakes, which was a great prep for the Derby, with a 95. Won the Louisville Derby with a 94. Also won the Midsummer Classic with a 92, and the American Derby with a 88. Post position number 8 is You Are Not Alone, a 4-year-old black colt owned by Pete Vela. Cost $10 million for Pete at the TBS yearling sale. Sired by URIM and out of the Braveheart mare Adventure. Has 9 wins from 15 starts, $4.5 million in earnings. Won last year's rendition of this race, and then came back to win the Grade 3 highly regarded stakes. Also won the Grade 1 Z Prince Memorial Stakes week 10, but was third last out in the Long Island Gold Cup with a 79 behind Addicted to Chaos. Post position number 9 is Eastern West Side, a homebred for Mark Branch. He is a 4-year-old gelding sired by Taste of Shadows and out of the Midwest mare West by God. 7 wins with 16 starts, $2.5 million in earnings. Was on a bit of a losing streak after running a 100 in the Grade 2 Metropolitan Handicap, but seems to have bounced back to his winning ways as he has won his last 3 starts, including the Grade 1 Louisville Classic with a 93, the Grade 2 Starting Rumors Classic, and the Golden State Classic last out week 13 with a 91. And that is this year's field for the Stewards Cup Classic. And we will turn it over to the steward one last time.
Thank you, Nina. You did an amazing job today, and thanks again to Cleopatra yesterday. The 2 of you were superb this weekend under strange circumstances. Originally, we weren't even going to do Stewards Cup calls, and then I was like, oh, I guess I'll do the calls. I'll just wing it. And people were like, well, are you going to have MCs? I was like, no. And then I'm like, why not? That's dumb. I should have MCs. We like them. So appreciate their hard work. Some of the best people around. It's still 2 minutes to post for the Classic, and of course James Dean is the heavy favorite in here. Unbeaten this year. Was also the favorite for the Classic last year and didn't get it done, or one of the top 3 choices. I forgot last year was the whole Tahoe and Be Prepared thing. Finished third that day. I'm not sure that this field is better than that, because last year's field was quite good. But we do have 3 Louisville Derby winners in here, which is awesome. We have a Long Island Classic winner. We have a couple Midsummer Classic winners. We have two horses that are obsessed with a mile and a quarter and After the Disco and Brilliantly. And we have Heart of the Storm, the game's all-time richest horse, in what is finally his swan song. If he could go out with a win, he may be known as the greatest. A horse who was a Grade 1 winner from 2 to a million, or however old he is now. 6, I'm teasing. Addicted to Chaos finally just put one together last time when he won the Long Island Gold Cup. Can he make it back to back? Gryffindor is the only 3-year-old in here. Of all the top 3-year-olds to run this year, Alonzi, Ashwinder, none of them are here today. But Gryffindor has shown up, and he should be around next year too, racking up wins, going a mile and a quarter. I have to say, this race is filled with horses that actually like a mile and a quarter. There's so often that we see a bunch of mile and an eighth pretenders, or marathon pretenders. This race, nope. Every horse in here, mile and a quarter, best distance. So, what a field. It is post time now, I've decided. For the $6 million Stewards Cup Classic, $119,000 in the betting pool. And let me just say that I've gotten to that point in the night where I'm particularly fond of all of you. And I'm so glad we're here. And I can't believe we finished 45 years in the sim. Don't forget that our Sim's 50th party will actually take place. It's new, different than what I originally said. It's going to take place in March of 2018, around the time of the actual 50th year, rather than the 48th year, which was the original plan. It will be held at Santa Anita, and it will be amazing. I talked to Delmar about it, and they were telling me about attendance caps and how they're going to shuttle people in. It was just a big fat no to do it at Delmar. So, anyway, yeah, post time for the $6 million Classic. Let's go. They're off, and it was a perfect start in the $6 million Classic. All 9 runners are away well. James Dean, as expected, is the one to go show speed. He moves out, and Heart of the Storm will be the one to track. Those two, of course, go off without the rest of the field. They're 4 in front early. Gryffindor is up close today, then After the Disco, Brilliantly, Iron Spirit, You Are Not Alone, Addicted to Chaos, and Derby winner Eastern West Side is the trailer as they go under the wire the first time. So, as expected, the 2 speed horses, they are alone up front. It is James Dean who has 2 lengths on Heart of the Storm. 4 back to the rest of the field. None of them want to put pressure on. Gryffindor, After the Disco, and Brilliantly. Then Iron Spirit, You Are Not Alone, Addicted to Chaos, and Eastern West Side. They move into the backstretch now, and James Dean, they let him lead by 3. Don't they know the rules? They shouldn't let him get away. Heart of the Storm is second, and he's got 8 lengths on Brilliantly third. Gryffindor's alongside, those 2 running together, then After the Disco. You Are Not Alone, Iron Spirit, and Eastern West Side, then Addicted to Chaos is now the trailer, and they have half a mile left to go. James Dean, his lead is 5 lengths. Heart of the Storm can't quite get to him. Heart of the Storm is trying, but Heart of the Storm has cracked, and an end of a career to him as he drops out. Gryffindor up into second now. Brilliantly is third, then After the Disco. Iron Spirit is coming on. Not today for Eastern West Side. They're at the top of the stretch. And James Dean, but his lead is down to 3. James Dean still leading, but Brilliantly and Gryffindor are the dangers. After the Disco and Iron Spirit, You Are Not Alone, defending champ. James Dean, Brilliantly is the threat on the outside. Gryffindor on the rail. Those 3 kick away. It's James Dean, but Brilliantly and Gryffindor. Brilliantly with a surge. It's going to be Brilliantly to upset the Classic. Brilliantly defeats James Dean. Gryffindor third, then After the Disco, Iron Spirit, You Are Not Alone, Addicted to Chaos, Heart of the Storm, and Eastern West Side. The official winner is Brilliantly. He's a 4-year-old bay colt by Messiah out of Chocolate by East. He's owned by Louise Bayou and was bred by the Steward. This is his 8th win in 15 starts. No excuses for James Dean. He spit the bit in the stretch. No excuses for Heart of the Storm. They had it all their own way, and they just couldn't stick to it. With Gryffindor running third, can really look forward to seeing him next year. I think a bunch of these horses are coming back brilliantly. James Dean, Gryffindor, Iron Spirit, Addicted to Chaos. I believe they're all coming back. And of course, the gelding Eastern West Side, he's not going anywhere. So not too many horses retiring out of this race. But I can't wait to breed to the ones that do. Thanks for a great year, you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget the foals are due 1 week from today. And no trying to cheat that, because for the first time ever, the year will turn itself over without me even remembering. It's just going to do it. Hopefully it works. So if it's 1 minute to foal deadline and you've got 100 mares left, I will not hold it for you.